with audio?
We are live with audio.
Okay. I was like, I'm always used to you doing the countdown
and then waiting for you to,
and then waiting for me to do my thing.
Yeah, I knew you were getting wise, so I just went ahead and went live this time.
Okay, wow.
I'm keeping you guessing, Josh.
Yeah, you are. Gosh, playing with my heart like you always do.
Becca, does that all make sense? Oh, she stepped away.
Yeah, she stepped away.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. Patrick. Hello, Natasha. How's our audio sound?
Horrible.
Amazing.
Only when you talk, Josh.
Yep. I feel that way too.
Hey, Robert. Hello, Cameron. Can somebody, hey, Jeff, good to see you. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Boba. I appreciate that. Audio sounds good. Outstanding, Cameron.
Oh, yeah, you can mute. Oh, mute the site.
All right.
Whoa.
I have to get my head somewhere in the vicinity of being ready. We got 17 folks already in the chat. And
that's an interesting bouncy face.
Just got it going. Hello, Miss Swiss. Hello to you. Baldrax. Oh, my goodness, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm going to shout you out again tonight. So helpful.
Makes me do this every time. Come on.
You guys should totally sign up for the Bobaverse.
I'm not going to ask what that is.
The who will what?
Bob.
Oh, yes. I am already inundated in the Bobaverse.
Yeah.
Cameron, I can't wait to see you at the games.
Yes. She is ready. She's got her quote unquote minis ready to go, and
quote unquote. What does that even?
Right?
Are they huge? Are they actually just gigantic?
You will have to see, my friend. You will have to see.
Josh, you should try to get a hold of a life-size beholder or anything, just life-size, and then paint that. Make that your dwarven, lifelong kind of pinnacle artifact.
So
things, because you never paint your minis anyways.
I don't know how many of you know Brandon Cutler. He's a wrestler in AEW.
No.
He's a huge D&D fan. Actually, I'm not sure if he's wrestling there anymore, but he used to be. And his wife bought the Tiamat from Reaper. And it's this massive unpainted dragon. And this was like 2 years ago. No, it's over that. Holy crap. It was like 3 years ago. And she was painting like every itty bitty detail of that. And it was the best paint job I've ever seen. Like the eyes of it looked like actual glazed eyes. It was beautiful. It was almost as good as what Amanda does.
Nah, impossible.
No.
Nope.
I liked Amanda's face just now. She's like,
lies, all lies. Lies, all lies.
That's why I was saying like almost.
No, I'm disagreeing with that part.
Even the qualifier of almost is inappropriate. You should not even compare.
I will always say that your stuff is amazing, Amanda, as long as you never paint anything for John again.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have something really fun I want her to paint for this group.
I bet you do.
Is this going inappropriate, John?
Josh, you're on the stream. Of course it's going inappropriate. Hello, QW Fate. Hello, I already said I saw Robert Fraley, my friend. Oh, Ian, I didn't see you in earlier. Thank you, Ian, for being with us. And Mike, I didn't see you also. Loaf Anime Girl, hello. I don't know if I am...
My kind of woman.
I don't know if I know you, but if I'm forgetting a name, I apologize. But hello, Loaf Anime Girl. And Chris, good to see you in as well, my friend. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to be seen and not heard now in 3, 2, and 1.
Oh.
Hello and welcome everyone. Yes, it is that time again. It is Blue Box and it is Sea of Dark Sun. Super excited to be with you. Greyhawk Awakening Book 3, the Sea of Dark Sun. This is now episode number 2. So if you're just joining, you are in the very beginning of a fantastic story, which will go on longer than Josh has been alive. And so thanks for being with us tonight, everybody. We're going to do a quick run through of introductions of characters and players. We'll do what happened last time, which will be run by our own Ashlyn Dollar Store DM. We'll do a quick summary of the giveaways. We're going to save the longer bits for the break because we're going to play the intro video and get right into the gaming. So when the intro video is done, you players were fully in the moment of the game. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the support over the weekend, and hope everybody's doing well out there. We do have apparently some storms in the vicinity of a couple of players, so just the Blue Box House rule. No TPK yet. It's coming though, Tom. It's coming. They're all aware the session 1 moratorium on player death is off now, right? So the bumper things they put in the bowling lanes for the little kid, like those come off now. So we're in Dark Sun. Death is it wasn't really going to happen last week. This week it could. So no, you're not joking. Hey, Gon, good to see you as well, my friend. Yeah, we'll be checking out those minis tonight. So, want to shout out a few folks also, and as Ashlyn is getting ready in a moment to do our What Happened Last Time, want to say thank you to Baldrox. You see him as that guy Baldrox in the chat. He is one of the guys who is doing work for us just because he is awesome. All the custom, he does the stuff that is the big sweeping hills and the backgrounds and the dunes and the environments, and he builds these with his algorithmic generator, and then he also tunes them, and super helpful, jumped on things, got us a board out tonight. Thank you very, very much, my friend. And then, of course, John, Demon Gun, we talk about all the time. He doesn't suck. And then we have Hollow Fox. Hollow Fox is another member of the community, someone we're going to be working with more and more. And Rory, I have something I'm going to share with you after this. It is the magic wand. You're going to make your life so much easier, but I'll tell you about it.
Thank you.
All right. And I've lost Josh already. That's all it takes. Yes, the magic wand, Josh. I did say that.
Hey, you're going to show him something real special.
I'll see. It's got to be after the stream, though, Rory.
That's okay with me.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So now I've lost my train of thought. So thank you to all those guys, and of course some of the modelers that we do work with under contract, including Gonsplitter. He's on with us tonight. Thank you. He has done a lot of the work on the custom minis that you guys have seen in the system, and so just appreciate the whole community. Thank you for all the Dark Sun folks who have been following us, and we will be having some of them on our upcoming LMAs. Okay. Let's go around and let's do character introductions. And let's tonight start off. Oh, and if you're wondering, where is Kalak? Kalak is separated from the party, and this will be, at least for the beginning, a common thing. So John Demon Gun is with us. He is hidden in the background. John, would you like to say hi?
Maybe. Hello. I'm here. I'm running the camera.
And you may see a John sighting tonight. It's possible. And John, thank you for all that you do. But then he won't be on screen when his character is not with the party, because he will be more of an in and out character, at least here in the early stages of the campaign. We'll see how that unfolds. So tonight, let's go ahead and I'll roll the die here. We're going to start off with you, Rory. You are number 5. Tell us about Tick.
All right. Well, Tick is a half-giant gladiator. He is big, mighty, and strong, 11 foot tall and 1,400 pounds, with a handspan that I still can't comprehend. Man, I don't even know. It's so early in our sessions. Well, we know from last time that he was a slave. So he fought in the arena and found out that Kalak, whatever that, I forget the name of that creature, is a wicked, bad creature to fight. That really sucked, actually. He was a tough guy. So, yeah, that's Tick. He recognizes his enemies when he sees them.
Very nice. Okay, let's go to Lucius.
Hi, I'm Lucius.
Lucius is a bardic elf. He is kind of sultry. Hopefully you guys will learn a little bit more about his history today. A little bit about his dark past. He has been to, I believe it's Tyr, right? That's how we say this.
Uh-huh.
He's definitely been here before, so maybe we will get an opportunity to talk a little bit about that today.
Very nice. Anala.
Nala is a elven rogue. She is, to her annoyance sometimes, Nida's protector. She's kind of rethinking that now, but she is covered in scars. She's very quiet, very cautious of new people, but maybe she'll open up some. We'll see.
Very nice. Nida.
Nida is a half elf. She's a cleric of Galana, and unlike her Vendari protector, is very friendly and a little naive and too trusting. But you know what? No lessons were learned yet last time.
No lessons learned.
And she's going to continue because she was vindicated and she was right.
I'll buy that. Lucius. I'm sorry, not Lucius. Zephatok.
Oh, dang it, I was Lucius. I missed that. Hi, I'm Josh. I play Zephatok, a quarter giant
Just a quarter.
druid who has a good little fun buddy that's a rust locust. He only stands about 9 feet tall, so Tick's much taller than him. But you know, he's just a shorty amongst it all. He's just here to have a good time, not a long time due to John's standards. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Just remember, don't blame me. Tim made me do it.
That's amazing.
Hey,
Great.
Dad used growth potions. Okay, so tell us what happened last time, Ashlyn, and then we're going to get right into the game.
Well, last time we started off in the arena of Tyr, a gladiatorial arena where Tick and Kalak, I can't do the click very well, were faced 1v1 with Tick falling in the arena and Kalak falling very soon after as he tried to mind link with a Sorcerer King, which was arguably not a smart move on his part.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. In the meantime, Zephatok was making his way through the markets of Tyr, looking for Tick himself. Upon hearing that he was, in fact, currently fighting in the arena from a mysterious stranger who seemed to be helping him find his friend. He made his way towards the arena, kind of bribing his way in, and then with some masterful erosion, eroding away a lock to enter into a back room. During all of this, Anala, Lucius, and Nida were making their way to Tyr as they have been wandering the deserts. And after a bit of time, saw a figure laying in the ground. And upon hearing that this figure was alive and bleeding, Nida decided this is a great idea to run up to this figure and try to heal them, much to the chagrin of her two companions. The figure jumped up, turned out to not be an exact ambush, as we were suddenly surrounded by people who did not attack us and instead asked us to assist in helping a potentially newly freed individual in need of assistance.
Precisely. Well done. Nicely done. Bravo. All right. So last thing before we go to our video and kick off the game, 2 giveaways tonight for sure. Maybe more. Well, 1 giveaway, 1 drawing, and then maybe more. Tonight we are giving away this Treasures of Greyhawk glorious lightning source reprint module. This is a big one. It's got all the information in it. It's a 7. It goes from level 7 to 12, and a classic module. These lightning source reprints are gorgeous. And then not a reprint. Tonight, we will draw one name for our grand prize giveaway that's happening on the 30th of May. This is the Dragon's Crown signed box, brand new. It was sitting in the basement of one Richard Baker, and he unshrink wrapped it, signed it, and sent it for us. And Pat, I will take your suggestion most likely and reshrink wrap it. But it is, we're going to draw a name for that tonight. And then depending on how the night goes, we may have some more. So with all that said, let's go ahead and let's kick off our intro video. And when we come back, we're going to be live. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't drop it, Chris.
I gotta say, John, I really like this intro video.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks so good.
Thank you, guys.
Like, top quality.
Loxothricrene Ranger brings vengeance and death. Tick, half-giant gladiator, escaped slave and 11 feet of muscle. Lucius, sky singer, elven bard, child slave, now freed and bent on freedom for all. Zephytok of giant blood, druid of the wastes and last of a massacred clan. The Sea of Death. I think it's just you, John. The Sea of Dark Sun. Really? Is it still going on? Okay. Something odd there. When you were with us last time, you saw Zephytok beneath the arena of Tyr, seeking to find Tick, who he had been, as Ashlyn described a moment ago, assigned to go and rescue. Having been passed through by the enormous half-giant, Zephytok sought his way through a door and into a series of cells. As he heard the footsteps coming, exactly as was described, he applied his talent and his skill for erosion to the doorway and made it vanish. You could hear the footsteps coming down the hallway, at least two sets of people down the long corridor. And as we'll switch the screen here so you can see it. As you look down the corridor, you can see the door pops open, creaks on its hinges, and you look inside. As you step inside, do you pull the door closed behind you? As you pull the door closed behind you, you see a man lying on a table. He is... And John, I forgot that other thing. I'll do that in a moment. He is nigh unto death. You see the swelling, heaving chest of a gladiator. His body racked with sweat. His leg has been cut off at the hip, and tendrils of tendon and muscle dangle off. He is helplessly trying to staunch the flow of blood, which is of itself staunching simply by lack of supply. He's looking pallid. His face, he groans. Friend, stranger, who are you? You're muted, Josh. Somewhere. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, Chip, for the bits while Josh figures out what's going on there. You can hear him? Can everybody else hear him? Am I the only one not hearing him? Okay, hang on. So, no. So that must be when you heard something go robotic. Let me try this. Sorry, guys.
Everyone
There we go.
who's on the Zoom chat that can hear me. 'Cause
All right,
no one
I got
else
it.
Can hear me, so
I got it
let me
back.
start by saying balls.
All right.
PP.
Sorry, Josh. Let's go ahead and
Oh,
resume.
you're-
So he looks up at you. Stranger, who are you?
Now I can't hear.
He's not. He's just. No.
Now
Oh,
he's
don't
He's just
mess
being
with-
Josh. No, he's just being Josh. Did I look amused, Josh?
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not.
So Zephatok stays by the door for a second, listening, and then we'll. Oh gosh.
You hear the footsteps. They're still quite a ways down, but they're definitely coming this direction.
Okay. Freak. He's going to move over towards the individual laying on the table and just be looking over him.
As you look him over, you can see the blood is congealing on his leg, but there's still some pumping coming. An artery has been severed. He has moments. The pungent smell of blood fills your nostrils, and the sweat mingled with urine. His fluids eking out of his body. He tries to reach out and grab your hand, but his hand falls from weakness. I can't see you well. I know I'm about to die. Please, friend. Hear my tale. I am husband to an angel on earth stolen, and I am father to sons raised in another's household. I am betrayed, and only you could know of it, for you hear my dying breath. I was once a good man in the city, but my wife was coveted by Lord Valthor. He framed me, had me enslaved. He's taken my wife. God bless Mirana and my sons. If ever you see him, if ever you have the opportunity, I beg of you, give me vengeance, even though I be in the next life. His eyes feverish. He again tries to palm out with his hand. There's a last squirting of blood. Help me, please. And he seems to be searching with his eyes, but you can tell by the way they're scanning, he can't even really see your face.
Zephatok will stay by his side and like hold in. Even before, when he reaches out and the hand falls, he would have caught the hand and just kind of held it. He's done this so many times, and just be by the bedside as this person dies and will listen. And is there anything? Sorry. Is there anything you wish for your sons and your wife to know?
Tell them that I love them. Tell them that I did not do the things they said of me. And tell them that I spoke their names with my last breath.
And what is your name that you speak from?
I am Dracos. Please. Mirana. And his head lolls over.
And he will close his eyes and like have just a pause of a second, and then we'll flip around and go back to the door.
All right, then the door is closed. Hang on. As you go to the door, you can hear the footsteps. They're actually getting quite close now. Roll D20, please.
Okay. And also, just so I know if I have it correct, he said his name is Dracus.
Yes.
And then the Lord was Lord Valva.
Valthor.
Thor. Wow. Vulva.
You mean you knew it was too close? You knew it. I mean, you saw it coming. It was like projected. Josh, it's too predictable now. You got a new material.
Nope. That's a natural one.
Okay. You, as you're listening, the voices are getting closer, and you hear something about the giant, but you can't hear what they say.
Are there grates in this door that I can see through, or is it just straight?
So this particular door, all you have is the keyhole that you rusted out, but there's now, it's rusted. There's a good hole in the door.
Yeah. Okay. He will just kind of wait by the door. Oh gosh. And yeah, his fist wouldn't fit in that hole.
Voices getting closer.
He just sits, waiting, listening. His little buddy also, like I said earlier, he sent his buddy up to be in one of the darkened corners of this corridor and just kind of hang and wait there.
Okay. All right.
For its own safety.
All right. Then as you're doing this, you hear... And are you looking through the keyhole? Okay. Yeah. You actually see the footsteps approaching now. There are two men. One looks to be garbed in rough spun, looks like a cloak of some kind of dark brown that can be made out by the torchlight in the hallway. The other clearly a guard, normal human size, standing just over 6 feet, a little taller than 6 feet. Has a wooden shield in one hand, and they stand right in front of the door. The guard looks at the other man. Like I told you, don't think there's much hope for this one. He looks bad. You might want to save your physicking for the next, but we've got to satisfy the Lord, so have at it. And then there's a pause. What in the hells? And the door flies open. And you see his eyes go wide for a moment as he looks up at you. Your head is scraping at the top of the ceiling, and he says, "Ah!" And he pulls out what looks like a stone morning star, and we go to initiative.
Okay. I was hoping with his approach that I could prep something.
Well, you didn't indicate that you were. What were you hoping?
Well, if he had seen the man kind of coming his way,
okay,
he would have stepped up and at least had his weapon kind of at his side, so I wouldn't have to take time to.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely, that's fine.
Take out the weapon, and he has the handout that's like, "Come on, let's not do." Okay, you're screaming. Okay, fine. That's going to be a 5 on the die.
A 5 on the die. As he grips, that is also a 5 on the die for me. Let's roll again.
I very rarely win.
DM has a 6 on the die. Let's go.
Oh.
I got a 4.
A 4. All right. He leaps towards you. The other man, the man in the cloak, staggers back and presses himself against the wall, obviously having no interest in combat. You can see in the guttering torchlight, his eyes are wide and his lip is trembling as the guard leaps towards you. And let's go ahead and let's roll the die where all the folks can see the die, shall we?
Well, this was fun, guys.
The people like it. Hey, thank you, El Switchblade. All right, okay, so you have a bonus to initiative for the next round from El Switchblade. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, El Switchblade.
And we have, he misses badly. So with the 2 on the die, he comes forward. He's in such a rush. He bangs his elbow up against the door as he's trying to get inside. His blow goes wide.
John, just so you know, you do have advantages.
I do. I've got them right here.
Okay, they were.
I'm glad I didn't waste one on
Chaotic. Thank you, Chaotic Good Gaming.
Thank you, Chaotic Good.
He will. He's like, he swings, and the arms will just be like, "I do not want to do this." I'm just like, swing. Actually. Yeah, no. Ah, gosh. Sorry, I'm having this turmoil of whether he would actually attack or not, or if he's still kind of like, no, he would. Sorry. Thank
No
you
worries.
for.
Make up your mind. It's your call.
Woo! That's an 18 on the die.
That is a hit.
Yeah, not a huge plus for druids with melee.
You swing over the top. Thunk.
Hey, he's going to be using his Tetsubo.
Thank you very much, everybody, for the close hype train. Appreciate all the bits. They all go toward the combat and will be used today.
One on both. That's going to be 6 points of damage.
6 points. Ouch. All right. Well, actually, now hold on a minute. So, yeah, we're gonna say this is you can't swing. So you're using this, right? So you can't swing that thing, especially with him.
I'm not doing a full.
So
swing.
you're just giving him the right.
Pommel straight to the stomach.
All right. So
And
use
he's not trying to do lethal damage. He's trying to be like, stop.
All right. Boom! You pommel him to the stomach, and Manda, you can't do that.
Yes, you can. This is Amanda's always right. You said it earlier.
I did not say that. Thunk! You hear a rib crack, but he is not stopping. He knows what this means, and you know what this means. If he lets someone escape, he is dead anyway. It is initiative. DM has a 4 on the die.
Gosh dang it, John. Can I have someone else roll for me?
Let's go. Thank you for the hype train, everybody. Thank you, Jeff.
That's a 4 on the die.
Okay, roll again.
I'd like to use the initiative bump that was given.
Okay? Normally I make you declare that beforehand, but no, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. I'll take it. All right, you have initiative.
Okay, thank you. He's just like, come on, man, stop. He pummels him, and then he's going to step out into the hallway above him, and we'll just try and just pummel to the side of the head to knock him out once again, non-lethal.
All right, roll to hit.
18 on the die again.
My goodness. All right.
That is going to be 12 points of damage.
Thunk with a sickening thunk, and you're not sure to what degree he has taken this.
You're not sure to what degree of non-lethal damage.
Yeah, it was that much damage is questionable as to its level of non-lethality.
Yeah. The first round I rolled really poorly.
But he collapses to the ground in a boneless pile. Thunk! Even as he goes down, his chin cracks on the cobble, and you see a couple of his teeth spray out. Blood kind of starts oozing onto the ground. He is out cold.
With one hand, he grabs him and throws him backward into the room, closing the door with the same hand, eyes directly kept on the brown robed one.
No, hey, I want no trouble. I'm just here to heal.
And he will show his markings, his tattoos. And I wish no further harm to come to anyone.
Okay, then I'll just be going then.
No. I wish for no harm. I didn't say no healing. Take care of him. As he's going to kind of move forward with his massive, just wood and bone weapon.
Okay. All right. You want me to take care of him?
The one behind me as well as the giant. Where is the giant they just brought in?
Oh, he was the one I was supposed to see next. They said this was more urgent. He pointed at the hall just down here. You can just go down 2 doors on the right, and it's there. And good luck, my friend. Thank you so much.
He will put his hand on the lower back of the guy, or technically his full hands on the back of the guy, and be like, "Wonderful, didn't we walk?" As he will push the man with him.
Okay. You push him along. There's really no need for this. I'm of no use to you. I don't want to fight. I have a family.
We all have families. And he has one as well. As he's looking forward towards the door indicated. And then with his reach, will extend his arm, pushing the man in front of the door. Heal him, and you get to return to your family.
I don't have the key.
Like he will try. He'll lift it up, and will slowly put down his weapon. Allow me, as he will once again use another rusting touch to burn through that lock and open the door.
Okay, and these are very primitive iron locks. So, okay. So you do that. You concentrate for a moment. He says, "There will be more guards coming soon." Shh. Ash falls away.
And
as you open the door, you see the form of Tick in an oversized cell, but he's still crunched, his feet bunched up against one wall, his head against the other. He is unconscious, and you see big gashes in his leg and his abdomen.
A rumbling sound of like a growl exits the chest and throat of Zephatok. Take care of him. Now.
All right. Yes, I have just one of these. And you see he reaches in, he pulls out a small flask, leather flask with a stopper. He walks over, and his hand diminutive against Tick's massive jaws. You've seen half giants.
Yeah.
While not necessarily larger in girth than any half giant, the half giants you've seen, the way this half giant is much more cut. He doesn't have the protruding belly and the brow that droops that you have typically associated with half giants, although he's certainly ugly. His face has scars, blunt features, but even in his unconsciousness, his massive chest rises and falls, and the physical pulls open the jaw, and he pushes the contents. You see what looks like almost a urine-colored liquid that pours out, and then he pushes down, and he guides the potion down the throat of the half giant. You, Tick, you get 3 hit points.
Yay!
And you were at 0, is that right? All right. As your eyes flutter open, you come conscious, and you realize you're in darkness, and there's a man you don't recognize standing over you, and there's a sour, bitter taste in your mouth, and you are disoriented, and you see something else looming, not as tall as you, but still head scraping the ceiling, standing behind. What do you do, Tick?
Now, you said I'm bound hands and feet, or just feet?
No. So your hands are bound, your feet are not bound, but you are scrunched. So you're 11 feet long. You're laying on a slab that's 9 feet long. So your head is kind of like this. Your feet are kind of like this, but you do have manacles on your hands.
Okay. I shake my head, and I see these two silhouettes, one smaller, one larger. I'm just tired of being here. I tasted what I wanted, and I had it ripped away, and I'm just tired of being here. So instantly, as soon as I gain consciousness, both a sourness in the mouth as well as in the mind, I'm just gonna take my full body, crunch it up a little bit more, almost in a fetal position, as I roll towards the door as hard as I can.
Zephatok was kind of waiting for any sort of aggressive action towards or in the direction of this guy, and he's going to try and pull the healer out of the way of this, or the physician, to try and make sure he does not get hit by any of this force. So he's literally going to lift this guy up and yoink.
Okay. All right. You lift the physiker whose eyes have also gone wide. As you pick him up. Tick, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to grapple? Are you trying to?
Well, currently my hands are bound, right? So obviously I could use my arms, but the initial roll is to hopefully strike, right, causing them to unbalance, and then stand up, and then take further action from there.
Okay, all right. So in the process of picking this guy up, you can try to. You were ready for it, but still now carrying him.
Yeah.
And Tick comes off of this thing pretty quickly. Tick, I'm going to have you make. I'm going to have you make a to hit roll. Let's do a CMB. Josh, give us your CMD, and you're going to take. You're going to take a -4 on this, Tick, because you have just come conscious. Your eyes have just snapped open. You're disoriented, and your hands are bound. So you're kind of.
He's gonna hit me.
We'll see. We'll see.
Ain't nothing like me waking up angry. 25 -4 is 21.
Yeah, no, he definitely gets me, but I would like to try and protect the physician a bit. So
he's on the ground, so you've lifted the physician up. He slams into your legs, and you're trying to. I assume then you're trying to knock him over, correct?
Yeah, I mean, knock over, on balance, and stand up, whatever outcome that brings. Yeah.
All right, so Josh, go ahead and roll d20, add your reflex bonus, please. As this half giant spins off, boom, his broad back. Thank you very much, Trollord Games, for the raid. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We are going to give away a couple of things I'll share with you a little bit later. But thank you, everybody, for all the chat. Thank you for the gifts and the subs. And we're just getting started tonight. Boom, he slams into you, Lucius. I'm sorry.
Lucius,
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Lucius?
I keep doing that. Sorry,
I don't
Zephytalk.
know. So Lucius
Josh,
comes out of nowhere.
It's just because the problem is Josh looks so luscious. I keep calling him Lucius. I just can't help it.
Bippity boppity boop, gorgeous is here.
All right, what was your roll, Josh?
I rolled a 16 plus 2, so 18.
18. All right, he hammers into you. You do manage, you stagger back into the hallway, but you don't get knocked over.
He will tell the physician, please go take care of the other man. As he's like putting him down, he's saying this. I'm guessing the dude's just running, but he's like,
yeah,
"Please take care of
the guy turns, he sprints down the opposite direction of the hallway. As soon as you let him go, he is gone.
Hello, little brother. Get up.
And
Also,
I just,
did I take any damage from that?
No.
Okay, thank heavens.
I again shake my head. Zephytalk can see my jaw as it just moving my tongue, just horrible taste, shaking my head, and there's a moment there that you don't see a response come from me, as I'm just orientating, still looking around in like a half crouch as I'm looking around, seeing that you're not approaching, and then finally you see as I look up towards you, still in that crouch position. Why are you here?
The better question is, why are you here? Now get up. Get your ass moving. As he's going to look back towards his friend, having given him the cue last time, and will look how many of the locks he's been able to work through.
So, and you were sending him out to each one of those cells, right? Okay. So, it looks like he is now 3 doors down, and you can still see him vibrating his wings up against one of the doors. The other 2, where you can see little piles of rust-colored powder on the ground, the doors themselves have not opened, and he's on a 3rd.
Okay. He's like, get up.
Tick goes, oh, go ahead.
He's just going to give the to his command. I don't know if you could catch it because my mic almost always crops it out. But he gives like clicks and whistle response to his buddy, communicating, take care of his manacles once you're done with that. And he's going to move over to the 2 doors that are good, and we'll look in to see what he has to deal with.
Okay. As you go to the first door, roll d20. You push open the door, and you see this is an empty cell. What'd you roll?
I never roll this well. 17 on the die.
Okay. As you open the door, even over the screech of the door, you're hearing the sound of more footsteps deep down that hallway, and you see this cell is empty.
Okay, he's going to quickly go to the next one and look.
Okay, as you go to the next one and you open that one up, you see the body of an elven man, only wearing a loincloth. He's got a long gash across his chest. His head is lolled over in complete unconsciousness.
How elven? So I'm guessing slimmer, lighter, and
yeah, it's the typical build of the Athasian elf. He's 7 feet tall. He's got broad shoulders, but thin, rail-like, rangy, strong gladiator wearing only a loincloth, which is,
beautiful.
You do take a moment to note, prodigiously filled out. And that gash across his chest looks like the blood is already kind of congealing and hardening.
Huge tracts of land.
Huge tracts of land.
He's going to look him over, because I'm assuming I would be able to carry him on, like, potato carry on his back.
Sure.
Okay. He will, if there's manacles keeping him to the table or just binding him, he will use another 1 to 2 rusting touches to try and burn through this, because honestly, like, to everyone watching, if you're like, wow, he's just using these, any sort of way he can return metal to dust will take it out of the hands of those that own it currently, and also just get rid of it entirely from the land. So he's doing as much as he can with the time he has.
And so for those of you who aren't familiar with the Dark Sun setting, metal is extremely rare. So weapons that will be carried are almost always going to be obsidian, they're going to be bone, they're going to be wood, they're going to be chitin, they could be stone. But here in the gladiatorial arena of Tyr, certainly Kalak would be certain that he is using appropriate and strong materials to keep these slaves in check. And so these large, thick wooden doors are bound with iron locks, and the manacles themselves are made of a very rare, metal. So they are. This is the most metal you've seen at any one time in a long, long time.
Cool. Yeah, as much time as seems fit and able to get done. My buddy, once he's burned through Tick's stuff, Tick, let me know once you are done. There we go.
Now I'm bound by rope, or are these manacles metal?
No, you have metal manacles on.
Oh, okay. So I wait for that to come off. So I imagine being in here, you know how.
Look up there!
Get out of here, right?
You hear voices shouting down the hallway.
Yes, I know. Try and grab any sort of weapon, anything you can find.
You didn't bring one.
I don't have very much.
Sense? Yes.
He'll open up the door and just kind of give his little brother a look of like, shut up, and look down at his buddy. Okay.
As you do this, you now see coming around there at the far end, so they're still a good 200 yards down this lengthy hallway. You see 4 men coming around the corner, and one of them is pointing. You see the physiker that you had let go. He's standing with them. He's pointing as these 4 men, they lay eyes on you, and they break out in a sprint.
Come on, you're a healer. As he will turn and just... as they're just gonna start booking it.
All right, and you still have this elf over your shoulder?
He's literally not tossing, but like, take him, we run.
How big is this? Unfortunately, this is a condition of forever now for me. How big is this corridor?
Oh, no, yeah, so
like...
I'm sorry. Thank you for that. So I've already said Zephytok's head is scraping. You are having to scrunch down and almost turn sideways. Your shoulders nearly fill, not quite the entirety of this, but when you pass the torches, you will knock them off with your shoulders, and you have to hunch over. So it's very difficult for you as you run. As both of you turn and sprint down the hallway, you can hear the voices getting closer and closer behind you. I'm going to have you roll initiative again, please.
Okay. And how wide is the corridor?
Like I said, it's just about 10 feet wide.
Gotcha. So sorry. I was looking at something else. Okay.
Yeah, my shoulders are 4 feet just with shoulders. Yeah. This
Right,
this
that's
is tight.
each- that's
this,
each-
This
that's
is
right.
rough.
Rory, I would like you to roll initiative since I trust you.
Okay, so here's death number 2. I got a 5.
Hey,
A 5. Okay. All right. So they're still a good 100 yards away. You make quick time, even though you're having to hunch down your long strides. Thunk, thunk, thunk. You quickly ascend the steps. You see there, Zephatok, the door that you came through, which led to the outside of the arena. And you, hopefully, there would be still that half giant that was there just a few moments ago when you came down. You there, stop! In the name of Lord Kalak!
Okay, perfect. At the bottom of the stairs, are the stairs also 10 feet wide going
Yes.
up?
Yeah, it just goes straight up, and then you see choke points at the door.
Okay, at the choke point to the door, if and when we get through, he's gonna look back towards the door, pushing Tick through, like, go. He's gonna put his hand to the sands and look up to the giant. We're being followed. As he's going to spread the sands with his fingers and cast burning sands at that choke point. So it's the sands there become super hot to anyone that walks up through that area, and will kind of dip them down into it. It's almost like a 1 foot deep quicksand, but it's also burning.
Okay. All right. You spread your hands. You draw upon the elements surrounding you, and you feel this. Go ahead and describe for us what it looks like.
As he dips his fingers into it, he kind of makes a circle with his fingers, and then with middle fingers touching, he brings that up to the center and then pushes down. And it's almost like where it was a little bit of sand and then stonework, it goes deeper into the stonework. It goes deeper into the ground, and almost like he puts his hands to the bottom of the 1 foot and pulls them out. And it's just like the sand gets a more orange tone to it, like that of hot coals.
Very nice. As you do this, the giant looks over. The half giant looks over at Tick. You. He points at your manacles, and then he points at his own temple and turns his head.
Nice.
I look up at him and go, and I just take the manacle and just bash him across the side of the head.
Thunk! You feel the meaty thud. Now, giant skulls are thick. Half giant skulls almost as thick. But still, you feel a crunch as the metal manacles strike him. The hardness, this is, it's been some time since you were bound like this. And you know that even though an instrument of binding, what you have on you is precious. And you feel it crunch into his skull, and he drops. Thunk! And let's see.
Any weapons on him?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, he has a bone and bone club with spikes on it that is strapped to his back. As he falls, it clatters, and you see there's only a scattering of people here in the opening area because there's another battle happening in the arena and people have filed in. But you do see there is one woman that is standing there, and she's got kind of a nice dress on, and her eyes go wide as she sees you, and she puts a hand to her mouth, and you can tell it looks like she's about to scream.
For me, I'm grabbing that bone club, and I grab the bone club, right, and I look up at Zephatok. It's probably good that we get out of here now.
Zephatok, having done the spell, is the door, does it have a lock to it? Is it like a portcullis?
No, it's a door that has a lock, and the key is sitting on the half giant's waist, who's on the ground. You see your sand, and you can still hear the footsteps. Those men haven't even gotten there yet, but you're just seconds away.
Forget them.
close. I will, if I can, keys, as he'll ask for Tick to toss me the keys, and then he'll lock the door.
He's slightly frustrated. I'll grab the keys and just throw him his way as I'm pulling off the club.
And then once he locks it, he will break off the end of the key.
You snap the key off in the lock. You hear the first of the men start to reach. Ow! One of them screams as they hit the sand. You can smell burning flesh coming through the door. And I'm assuming then you turn and try to get out?
Yeah, we
Are you running?
Booking. What?
Are you running or?
Since Tick's going to most likely be faster than me, he's going to be following Tick's pace, but be giving him directions via his locust that's going to be sitting on his shoulder and trying to direct him which way they're supposed to go, left, right, forward, to get back.
Am I faster than you?
I would assume so, being 11 feet tall.
I mean, we know each other. You know, we would know. Like, I run 40 feet.
I run probably not that. I'm looking for my speed. I
It's at
think
the top of your thing.
I'm looking. See, for me, it just says 20 feet, but I know that's not right.
No, it's not. So your normal movement would be 30 feet as a druid. You got a little bit longer stride. That's per a 6-second round of walking. You can double that if you're sprinting. But
So I'll take the lead, and I'm not gonna viciously hurt anyone, but I'm not gonna stop for anyone either.
okay, all right. You go careening out of the arena. There are side entrances. You've seen these before, so you don't go back out the main one. You turn to a side entrance, feet skidding, a few people, eyes wide, not knowing exactly who you are. One half giant looks much the same as the other, but Zephatok is a frightening looking man with these dark orange and black tattoos and the bone through his nose, the strange insect sitting on his hip. But Tick, you look like death itself. Your brooding brow, your heavy wounds, 11 feet tall, lumbering through, people scattering and letting out screams. And you can see there are guards becoming alerted. And with that, we're going to switch to the other group.
Yay.
Okay, so Inala, Nida, you have been waiting with Lucius now. It has been probably less than an hour since the men that met you on the dunes outside of Tyr. You are, again, no more than probably 30 minutes to an hour walk away from Tyr, but they told you to wait here. And as you stand in the Athasian desert, no longer seeing any sign of those that you were just with, the sun hangs low in the sky, the bottom of it dipping beneath the dunes on the horizon, which go off behind you for quite some time. But you can see they settle out into the Badlands as you get closer to the actual city of Tyr. You guess you would have, perhaps a few moments, less than an hour of time remaining in the daylight. Even though the sun is beginning to find its resting place, the amber rays of the red sun burn hot on your backs. The wind is hot, offering little solace, and you stare off into the distance, seeing no one on the road. I would like each of you, as you've been waiting here, players, you've seen me do this before, I'm going to ask Inala, Nida, and Lucius to tell me something that you notice as you are waiting here against this rocky outcropping amidst these dunes. And let's start with you, Nida.
Nida is very focused on the horizon, and finds herself, in order to pass that time, and in order to keep from getting too anxious, she begins counting other outcroppings, paying attention to how many areas of shade there are, places that if rain were to come to this area, that water would pool instead of just being directly brought down into the groundwater. Knowing how little water her and her friends have, and knowing that she cannot provide enough for everybody, she's trying to find areas that might hold more groundwater than others.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll d20. Let's go to you, Lucius.
Lucius, I don't think would be as focused on the horizon as internally. Maybe more anxious about going back to Tyr. And he would be watching Inala because she is different. So catches his eye a little bit more. Nadia he's still slightly annoyed with her after the encounter and just kind of will standoffish towards her, but he'll be keeping an eye on Inala.
Okay. Inala.
Inala is darting her eyes back and forth, just scanning as she paces behind Nida to protect her back and just watching, just trying to pace off that anxious energy. And every so often her eyes will flick to Lucius, seeing that he's like looking at her, and it makes her even more anxious, so she paces even more.
As you make these observations, you stare around the country, the landscape, and you see no sign of anyone yet. Are you doing anything? Are you going to wait? Are you going to march? You have a few moments here to decide what you're doing.
Lucius will suggest that we move on. I think that we should go forth. There's no point in staying here in this hot sun. We've been here he'll look up at the sun to kind of gauge where it is in the sky. We've been here for a while, at least an hour, if not 2. No one's coming.
Yes, since the 3 men left, it's been less than an hour.
Less than an hour? Okay, well, we've been here a while. We should move on. It's getting hot. We have little water, and we do not want to be caught out here at night.
Inala will nod and look to Nida and just nod her head towards Lucius. Let's go.
Nida, having just very recently been scolded for making poor decisions, is doing her best to not let her ideals get in the way of the group. And it's very apparent on her face as she's just this like deep sigh. We move forward slowly.
With this, you can kind of tell on Lucius' face, he's like,
I'm compromising here.
he'll look over to Inala. Can we drag her? Can we just move along?
Go ahead, try. If she kicks
Will you
out,
try to kill me if I pick her up?
go for it.
With this, Lucius will take a step towards Nadia. Just a single step towards her.
Why do we keep resorting to picking me up? Why is this our solution to everything?
Because even as I have to bear your weight, we'll still probably move faster. So I either suggest you get a move on so we can get there, or I will be picking you up.
Fine. I am capable of walking on my own 2 feet.
Lucius is daydreaming about giving you a little kick to the butt just to get you moving. Like,
All right.
Sheesh. So impatient.
As you continue along, you can feel the sun almost as though itself is angry at the knowledge that it must soon wink out for the evening, cast the last rays of hateful glare in your backs. Nida, as you look around, what was the D20 roll you made earlier?
9.
9. Yeah, you look around, and this does not look like a place one would have success as to finding water. And you're also, of course, keenly aware that you are no more than an hour from darkness, and that this place was being roamed by a Masaka during the evenings. So you all move forward at a slow pace. Anyone else doing anything as you move forward?
Renala is just going to continuously make sure that Nida keeps moving by putting a hand against her back and just gently pushing her forward a little more.
Lucius will
Every little
probably be
push is
taking.
just like groans.
Lucius will probably be taking the lead, and he's anxious to get out of the desert. He wants to get there before nightfall. He doesn't want to be caught out in the dark, especially with these two.
Okay. All right. Then you do so. You pick up your paces. And now we're going to cut back to Zephatok and Tick.
Fuck.
Gentlemen, as you run out through the side of the arena, there are people that scatter out of your way, and you can hear some shouting from behind you, and there are several thoughts that go through your minds at once, not the least of which is there are guards all over the city of Tyr. The words of warning ring in your mind, the term Cylops, and what these psionic creatures are capable of doing. You know it could only be a matter of short time before these Templars with the Cylops are being used to try to hunt you with psionic power. And so you are faced with this conundrum of both urgency and openness. If you run through the streets of Tyr, you will announce your presence to everyone. If you try to charge the gates with the Templars and leap through, certain death, and yet lingering here, certain death. What do you do?
Talk. Don't have time, little brother.
I know. We're running. The closest gate is how far?
Well, so the arena is toward the southern end of the city here. And so, having traveled in, you're probably, at a run, a 5-minute walk. A walk would be 5 minutes. A run would be quicker. But you're already gathering notice. You there! Hey!
We're running.
Watch where you're going!
We're running until we can get to a point where the yells are far enough behind us that we can try and dip into an alley or even a second.
Okay.
I'm going to be trying to keep eyes on the alleys in different places for the woman that wouldn't give me her name.
Okay. All right. As you go careening through the streets, I'm going to have both of you roll D20, please, and just give me your raw number. You obviously, it's very difficult for the rust locust to work on these manacles as Tick is running. He's making no progress. He buzzes angrily. Every once in a while, he slaps you in the face with one of his wings. Tick clearly wanting you to stop. He's been given a command and he can't carry it out. What was your roll?
I'm not feeling so well. I rolled a 5.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. As you go running, you do see there are alleyways to either side, but the yells don't stop because the further you go, just the more people there are that are seeing these this huge half-giant, clearly an escaped slave, massive wound on his chest. You there! Return here at once! Authorities! Authorities! People are starting to scatter around you. You're drawing more and more attention as you careen through these streets.
To my memory, I don't remember, to Josh's memory, I don't remember the woman giving me any further instruction other than on how to get in.
No, she said, get him and get him out of the city as quickly as you can before the Templars
Yeah.
begin the search with the Cylops.
That's what I
How-
thought.
Because I can't visualize the place. How tall are the buildings, and how close are the buildings, and what are they made of?
Yeah, so same as we showed last week, you have largely here, these are stucco adobe structures with wood. Some of them are just 10 feet tall, just enough for one. Many of them have very narrow doors, narrow windows to keep the amount of sun that gets through off, but still allow for ventilation. Some of these things go 2 and 3 stories, 20 and 30-foot structures stacked on top of each other with tightly packed sand, silt, and mud, structured with beams of wood going through it. As you run past, you see there's an elderly man, dark and withered skin, pulls himself out of the way as you come racing past him. It looks ahead like you see what might be some sort of a commerce clearing, a small mercantile place, not like the large elven merchants that you saw earlier, but you can see there's a small mercantile area up ahead. There are alleyways to either side that you can go through, but you've already attracted quite a stir.
We're running
What
for the
about
gate.
the rooftops?
Rooftops will not support us. We need to make it for the gate. Run faster.
I'll
But keep your hands still. He's having a hard time cutting through.
manacles are just around my wrists. I don't know what this is gonna. Well, we've known each other before. Am I gonna get hurt if I touch this thing?
The locust? No.
Yeah. Okay. So, in hearing that, I'll grab the locust, not hard, but I will grab the locust and hold it to the manacle, and then grab my other hand. So I'm kind of cupping it, pinching it to the manacles, so it stays as still as possible. And I'll pull my hands in close. Sorry, like holding a football close to my chest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right? So I have it between my hands and the chain or the manacles,
Okay.
and I'll let out a huge grunt as I buckle down and push even harder to run. I'm just a speeding ball of mass right now.
Okay. As you do this, you look ahead and you see there's a crowd that's gathering behind you, and ahead of you, people start rushing back and forth. You see there are 2 men dressed in the familiar dark cassocks of Templars of Kalak, and they come emerging from that small mercantile area looking to see what the chaos is about. As you're running straight toward them, the crowd behind you, the Templars before you, what do you do?
I'd rather not die, big brother.
So I know the Cylops themselves, the Templars ride on Cylops.
No.
or they
The
themselves-
Cylops they are 4, 6, sometimes 8 feet long, but they're slender, millipedal
right.
type creatures with a single eye on. So they are leashed, typically, and with their psionic detection and mind abilities, they follow like we would think of a bloodhound, except they do so with traces of thought.
He can't do it.
Wait,
With his
I don't
one-
have any thought.
With his one free arm, Zephytok's gonna grab one of the barrels by a stand and chuck it directly at the closest Templar.
Okay, well now they're still about 50 yards ahead of you, so you're seeing them
okay,
up
sorry.
ahead.
Then never mind. I thought they were real close. Go left. As we're gonna try and circumvent them and go around to another path, so we're not going straight into them.
All right, you come to an alleyway between a single-story structure and a double-story structure that has what looks like a line that goes across connecting these 2 buildings. As you kind of grab the side of the stucco structure, the adobe structure rather, to turn the corner, bits of the mud kind of crisp off in your hands, and you turn the corner, you see there is a man standing there. He looks to be about 6.5 feet tall. He's got a hood tossed back and a shock of the whitest hair that you've ever seen. His eyes glare into yours. He's about 15 feet away as you come around the corner. He curls his face in a sneer.
And I'm in the front
Yes.
because you told me to go
Yes,
left.
uh-huh.
He is. I'm sorry, just so much going on. He's like 6 feet tall. You said?
Yeah, he's about 6.5 feet tall.
6.5 feet tall.
Looks like it
15
looks like
feet away.
he's on in years. You see his skin is wrinkled, and he looks like he's got some years on him, and the disdain on his face it's palpable. You would mistake it for hatred if he knew you.
Oh, well, that makes this real easy for Tick.
Can I see around Tick at all? Or is he
Yeah.
taking
You
up
could see again. This is one where Tick. This is not even 8 feet wide. This alley is a good 6 feet wide. Tick is turned sideways, consuming the alley. You look under his arm, and you see this man standing there. And go ahead.
If I see that kind of look on him, it's not a question for Tick. If I see that kind of disdain, that kind of look, what I would interpret as a pure hatred, perhaps interpreted as something of vileness towards me, then I will, because we took that corner, which means we had to slow down to some extent to turn and move down this aisle, especially
Correct. Uh-huh.
the narrowness
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
I will again buckle down in my lower my body so that I can sprint forward literally as hard and pushing myself even further if I can, and ramming into this guy careless of what happens to him.
Okay, you run forward. You get within 5 feet of him at full speed. As you're looking at him, Zephatok, you see something very odd. You see the immense 1,400-pound bulk of Tick come to an abrupt stop. Boom! You hear a thunderous and Tick, you recoil back. You take 2 points of damage, concussion damage, as your head slams into the some sort of invisible barrier. You recoil off of it. Oh, wait a minute. Make a reflex save for your friend, Josh. Please roll.
Come on.
He's got him tucked right here. He's got him tucked right here. He's ran full speed into this barrier.
No, that's a natural one.
Oh, roll again. Did he just fumble his saving throw?
That's a natural 19.
Okay, so he didn't fumble the save, but he still... Okay, so, crunch. You feel... so he takes 3 hit points of damage, Josh. You feel the little insect, one of the wings crimps inside, and you can feel his body kind of pop a little bit as you stagger back. The man looks at you. What in the name of a cank's cock are you doing? You fools! You don't run through the city like this! Men have paid, women have given blood to see you freed. Here! He throws a cloak at you. He pushes past the dazed Tick. Stalks past Zephatok with a glare as though daring him to do something. Spits at his feet as he walks past. You see him step out into the alleyway. He throws back his cloak. He lifts his hands up toward the sky, and suddenly a ball of fire blossoms from his hands, illuminating the sky as the sun's last rays are falling, and a cacophony of screams and shouts go up. As you look down at your feet, you see a cloak has been put at your feet, and suddenly now no one is paying attention to you. As the flames are burning out in the street, you see the man. He turns, he looks at you and gives you one last look of utter disdain, spits, and turns and runs back the direction you originally came.
I'll grab the cloak and not whimpering, not like I'm cowering down to Zephatok, but I'll grab the cloak, still holding this locust, turn to Zephatok. I think I misunderstood that situation. I can't really put the cloak on right now, and Big Brother, I think I hurt your friend.
Zephatok will scoop up the cloak and will kind of like spider climb, so like jump and put his legs on either side of the alley.
Okay.
And we'll just put the cloak over top of his little brother's shoulders, and he'll jump back down.
As you're laying the cloak over, you see. Have you given him a name yet?
Nope.
We need a name. We can't keep going refer to little friend, please.
Come on.
No. So your tiny little rust locust. You see one of his wings is bent at an odd angle, and one of his antennae have been crimped, and he's trying to kind of flutter, but he's having trouble moving.
Have the chains been eaten?
As you look, it looks like the erosion is about halfway through.
He will reach down to have him crawl back up his arm as he's still kind of legs across in this alleyway. You should be able to pull that. Let's move.
He was talking to you, Tick.
Sorry, say that again.
You should be able to pull it at this point with your strength.
Give it a jerk to see if it breaks.
Roll a d20, please. You see the manacles as you look down. Is that Elvish? Amanda, is that Elvish for little friend? Remy? All right, so what'd you roll?
So not feeling good. I rolled another 5.
A 5, but okay, you got a plus.
Plus 6 to my strength.
You're pulling. There's still enough integrity to these chains. You feel them weakening. You think perhaps with another round. Do you head further down this alleyway?
Yeah,
all right.
I drop down and pat him on the lower back to kind of push him forward a little bit. We need to get to the gates. We need to move.
All right, as you emerge from the other side, you can see now the sun just barely still peeking above the horizon. You can just see the slender crescent of crimson through the structures and buildings of Tyr, and you can hear the shouting and the yelling as you come out of this alleyway into another main street. You see a few merchants that had wares set up on the side, some dry rations and a few withered-looking melons. They're bundling things up for the night and looking around cautiously as people are scattering to and fro. You look up, you can see a billow of dark smoke in the sky, and people are running back and forth. As you're now emerging into the central way, what are you doing?
Just walking.
Okay.
We're going to be kind of moving. I'm going to try and keep us with the crowd. As the crowd's kind of trying to move and get away, we're going to follow stream flow to stream flow of people trying to move and get out of the way. Even though we are very conspicuous as just tall individuals, I'm going to move away from Tick.
Okay.
So it's not the same two tall individuals walking with one another, but Tick, I'm going to tell him to keep moving forward towards where I think we can see the gate at this point.
You can't yet. You have one more turn to make.
Okay.
But you do this, you kind of meld into the crowd, and while you both stand out, it is not unheard of. There are many half giants, and even elves themselves, 7 feet and more, oftentimes. So you make your way through the city, blending with the crowd. Both of you roll d20 for me again, please.
My luck has run out. That's a 8.
Okay, and for you?
My body's broken, but my soul is strong. I rolled a natural 20.
There we go. Gosh.
Okay, all right. As you're making your way through, there is a point at which you're starting to get some looks. But Tick, you manage to do a nice blend of kind of mingling with the crowd when you need to, but then glowering when appropriate, when someone looks too long. In a few moments, you find yourselves in front of the gates, and even as you're arriving there, you can see the last rays of the sun ebbing over that crescent, just about to dip now below the surface, and 2 of the burly-looking guards are standing on either side, about to winch the gates to the city close for the evening, because in the evening at night is when the predators roam. You come walking up, Josh, you come walking up to them, and they look up at you. They take a look at both of you, and Lucius, you just got a bonus from June Solar. Thank you, June.
Thank you.
One of our good friends from the Athos.org and AthosCon and Dark Sun community. All these fellas have really been great. And so you get to the gates. You there. It is time to go back to your homes. It is late in the evening. The monsters will roam the deserts, and we are closing these gates.
Perfect. We have business outside of the city. We are not camped here as we are. As he kind of bares his fangs. We are the giants of the desert. We will be fine.
All right, make a diplomacy check, please.
I know it's what is needed, and that makes the.
If you have any plus ones.
All of them will be used.
You have two. You have two.
I have two. I will use. Okay. That is going to be with my diplomacy, which is a +0. That is going to be a 19.
All right.
Better than my -1.
And I'm going to oppose you with a sense motive. Now, this fellow is not good at sensing motive.
I'm such a nice guy.
But I will add 2 of my +4 to this sense motive, and let's roll it on the screen. This is kind of an important roll here, guys.
Yep. Yep.
This
Otherwise,
dice tell stories. Dice tell stories. Here we go.
Wait.
Oh, it was almost a nat 20. Oh, it was so. Did you see it? It wobbled. It was on the nat 20. It wobbled. He looks up at you. All right, then, on with you. Your blood is not on my hands.
As we get past and out away from it a little bit, I'll look over, just still kind of grunting and breathing heavy from the immense pain that I'm still in, and just bump Zephatok with my elbow. Monsters are outside. I don't think he's seen the inside yet.
You usually find worse monsters inside city walls.
Yes.
As Zephatok's kind of walking with this, because there are 2 cloaks, right? One for Tick and one for Zephatok.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zephatok finally, once they get far enough from the gates, he'll as he'll pull off his cloak where it looks like he just has this large hunchback, where he finally is able to lay this elf down onto the ground. Oh. God.
I can't believe you thought I could carry that inside of that cell.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're out, right?
We're out.
Yeah. So you're outside. You can see the. Ooh. Hold on a second here. There's some zoom freezing going on.
Oh, only on your end.
Is it only on mine?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me see. Let me just double check here. I'm not seeing any bandwidth issues on Twitch. Let me pull up.
All heard it here first. John's internet sucks.
Yeah, right. Hang on. Let's do a quick speed test here.
John's doing speed? You need sleep, man.
No, it's not that. It's fine. That's so weird. All right, it's back now. I don't know what that was. My internet's fine. Some just weird thing with Zoom. So yes, you're now 100 yards away as the last rays of sun are now gone. There's still a bit of a glow to the horizon, but you can no longer see it. You look over and you see the silhouette of the city of Tyr behind you as those 2 gates closed, and now the body of that elf lays in the sand.
What do you plan to do with him?
Man, it's too close to Rasmus. Whether he is alive or dead, it is better to be out of chains and out of the city. He's kind of leaning down at this time to like check the breath, listen to the chest.
Roll d20 and give me your
John, don't make me roll.
add your medicine check, please.
Dang. This die is taking care of me, other than when it has to do with my little friend.
Okay.
Medicine. Is it medicine? Is that what
It's before N.
Heal.
Heal. There we go. That's a 23.
All right. So
Dang.
yes, you can. Whoops, wrong one. Sorry, guys, hit the wrong button. You can see that his breathing is labored, but his pulse is steady. He's not near death, but he's also likely to sleep through the night.
Okay, he is alive. Come here. As he'll beckon him to lean down, and Zephatok will use one of his final rusting touches to get the last remnants off of his arms, because I'm assuming within this time that we've been walking, he's been able to yank.
He's got the dangling now. All right.
He will put his hands with Zephatok or Tick's arms kind of inside near his throat. He'll reach up and grab on the outside, and almost like he's unlatching them, he'll grab and then focusing and straining a bit will kind of crumple them into dust in his fists and pull them off.
That would be helpful for us to not destroy all the metal.
Yeah, and you can't help but weep a tear as you watch the last of the precious substance erode and fall in the color of amber into the sand.
Thank you.
If you hold the metal, then you may keep it. But if I am ever needed to touch it, it will fall to dust.
Yeah, I understand.
And he will turn back to the man. Tick, if you would please.
Wait, please what?
Scoop him up. Walk with him.
Okay. Then I'll reach down and hand under his legs and hand under his shoulders and just pick him up.
We need somewhere to find rest for the night.
Okay. So you do. Golly, what is going on with Zoom tonight? That is so odd. There are no internet issues, but Zoom keeps doing a little freezing thing. I might kill it and relaunch it on the break, see if that helps, because we're going to take our break here in a few minutes. But hang on, let's just wait it out because it's really distracting.
I see it on stream.
Yeah, all of you we're all freezing.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It shows up on stream, but not on our Zoom.
If we just hold really still, it won't look like we're freezing.
Yeah, I mean, so
We'll just all put our
I only
hands over our
check my
mouths.
download because my upload is always faster. But let me just check my upload here. Make sure there's not something funny going on. Oh, yes.
Oh,
There is something strange going on with my upload speed.
that makes sense.
That is not good.
You need to stop sending those pics to me on stream, John.
We're probably getting really, really bad. No, it's just we're probably getting really bad quality pushed out right now too. Viewers, I'm very sorry. Like we have like super high-end fiber internet here. I make sure that I have the best connection I can possibly get for these streams to be super smooth. But Robert, I think. All right, we'll see how that goes at break. And in fact, let's go ahead and let's take our, just us sputtering, or what's like the clarity look like? Quality, but lots of drops. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take our break now. I was going to take it in a few minutes, but this is a good point at which to take our break. I'm going to kill the Zoom and relaunch it just in case that has anything to do with it. But I suspect it's got something to do with internet. Clarity is fine. All right, good. Well, then I don't know what that's about. So we'll do our first giveaway. We'll start the drawing for that at the break. We also are giving away one entry into our big prize for Dragon's Crown, authored by Richard Baker. Thank you, everyone, for all the bits, all the subs, all the supports. Thank you, Jay Birchfield, for the resub, and all the support from the team here. Great job, players. Sorry we broke immersion there for a bit, but it is technology, and we do everything possible here to make sure that we have all the best tech and all the best connections, but just sometimes things still happen. So hang with us, and Blue Box will be right back.
What's the keyword for the giveaway?
It'll be Blue Box RPG, but I haven't launched it yet, so I'll do that right after the break. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and kill this Zoom. Just rejoin it, and we'll see if that makes a difference, okay?
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you, Mad Chatters. I appreciate you guys hanging with us. How does the Be Right Back screen look? I mean, is the smoke going smoothly? Everything flowing as it should? Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's definitely just some kind of weird Zoom issue.
Did you restart Zoom, or did you just kill it and turn it back on?
I killed it and turned it back on. And I've had that. Sometimes it's just the actual call connection. I've had that happen at work at times as well. So let's admit all.
Okay. I'll be back. I'll be back.
All you Mad Chatters are awesome. Thank you very much.
He wants to go ahead and start.
All right, everybody coming back in. All the video looks smooth so far. Hang with us during the break. We'll announce the giveaway here in just a second, and we have a lot more gaming and roleplay and fun to come.
That was such an iconic scene.
Oh, thank you very much, John.
I think just in reading the books, I was telling John earlier, I'm on like book 3 of the Prison Pentad or whatever.
Right.
And like, I swear every chapter has a running from the Templars through the street scene.
Does it really?
Over and over and over, and it never gets old.
Yeah, I mean, I still think I am having an internet bandwidth issue here, but I really don't want to have to kill this. I have to kill the stream to. I have to kill the stream to restart the router, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back.
Bum, 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 bum.
Someone's got an aquarium. Hang on. Hey, I do. Actually, can you hear it? Can you hear my aquarium pump?
I hear what sounds like a little bit of music or something coming from somewhere. I figured that was John, though.
No.
Oh, yeah, I am hearing the music. It got loud. I can't hear your pump, no.
Weird. I mean, the fact that you could tell the difference between an aquarium pump and like someone peeing behind me is a little. I mean,
John's
you got a really good ear for aquarium parts.
John has definitely watered the plants before.
Yes.
Ashlyn's sitting there so confused. What does that mean?
Yeah. Oh, Ashlyn can go be Josh for a sec.
Yeah, you can.
Hi. There's also the bigger screen as opposed to my little laptop.
It's interesting. When you move over to your side, you get bigger.
I'll turn off.
I'm further away on this one.
I was gonna say, like, you stick your hand over.
It's framed around Josh's height, not my height, as I am shorter.
There you go.
Well, you didn't die.
I didn't.
Yet.
Yeah.
But we're now.
I am at 1 HP.
Yeah, I can do things about that.
When you
I
hit
have
that wall, I was waiting for you to go down.
Yeah. I thought I was doomed. I only had 3 hit points. I thought I was done.
We've got some options.
Heck yeah. The Baba verse makes me so happy. The only thing that'd make me happier is if you guys understood the reference of a Baba verse.
I do not. I just know that I'm very now, like, a lot of information has been put into the Bobaverse.
Oh yeah.
That kept
But
me at least entertained when I had signal in the car. So thank you.
So is it just like
It's a-
your local AI that you're training, or?
Yeah. So I use ChatGPT, right, with the 4.0, and so I got all the different chat channels, but one of them is Tick, right? And I've just piled a lot of information in there. I've done it with your guys' characters too, to whatever extent of information I have. But I've just done it with all kind. I use it extensively at work, and then through this stuff too. But now I have so many different like charts for within there that I created for Tick on his mental status and different things that affect him, his conditions, that I can type in situations or add in session notes and stuff like that. So it all impacts his actual character.
I've used it a
You
little bit
good,
to try
Manda?
to generate quotes, like Thrycreen quotes, but it's not good at like speaking Thrycreen.
Yeah, you can actually teach it. Like when I was messing around teaching it, like creating a giant language, I was using the actual structure of languages, with script and whatever to do that. So you can, but I had to do all the front end foundation teaching it what I wanted before it would do it.
That's right. You have to teach it what you want.
Yep.
I gave it a book. I just copy pasted the entire Prism Pentad book 1. But unfortunately, there's like one Thrycreen and he has like 5 lines. So it didn't learn very much from it.
Yeah.
I've never really used any of the like text AI. I do a lot with like, because I'll put like Hero Forge minis into like art AI,
Right.
which is fun.
Okay. There's a Thrycreen phonetic guide. Yeah, June, if you'll send that to me, I'll circulate that to the team. June, we can definitely use that. I've fiddled a lot with the Elvish and even some giant stuff, but I haven't even tried to tackle the Thrycreen stuff.
It's in the Thrycreen of Athos book. It's like the first thing in it.
Did you try pushing that in, John?
I did, but what I was hoping to do, I'm trying to get quotes that are like in common, basically like the translation of it.
Okay.
Because they just their sentences they don't use. They'll be like, the hunt is good. It's like very short things. Like there's just words they don't use, like the and that and of. And so it'll build me a translation, but that translation actually still includes all those filler words.
Yep. You could maybe pull from like a I don't know if it's German or Russian that negate a lot of those words also.
Ooh, actually, I know Russian, so that could do that.
So you can use that kind of as your foundational kind of actual language, right? And then
heaven forbid I just go actually be creative myself. Just like
I love that you gave
actually say.
Rory. I just love
the lore from scratch.
I love that Rory just gave John the opportunity to flex. I know Russian. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know it well.
Hashtag Bluebox RPG in the chat. Yep, it is working. All right, so we're kicking off the first of our 2 giveaways tonight. Very good. Pop your name in there, all of you. And we're going to go ahead back live on video in 3, 2, and Joshua Blake, 1.
He's in the
I beat him.
restroom.
Oh, he is? Okay, well, we'll come back without him.
That's what he said to do.
All right, we are back, and yes, there is definitely some funny stuff happening with the internet here. The only way I know I can fix that for sure is to restart my router, which I almost never have to do. But if I restart my router, I kill the stream. So we're just gonna, if it stays like this, we may have a little bit of freezing, which is very unusual for us here at Blue Box. I apologize to any new fans. We try to keep it very smooth, but if it comes back, we'll just deal with it the best we can. Hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat. That will get you in the giveaway, and the first one that we'll be doing today, we're going to do the entry into the grand prize giveaway on the 30th. So the next name we draw will be the individual whose name will be added to the sweepstakes or the giveaway on the 30th for this Richard Baker authored brand new box set from 1993, 30 years old, brand new, that we're giving away on that stream. Your name, if it is drawn tonight, will go into that, and we'll make that drawing in a little bit. Then for our last giveaway tonight, we will be doing the Treasures of Greyhawk lightning source set. And as I've mentioned before, I like to do these because we give back to the community. We have, for example, Canadian Ancient Gamer gives us these lightning source reprints, so we give them out to the teams, or to the folks. And then also because even if people come for the giveaways, we have a phrase here at Blue Box: you'll come for the giveaway, you'll stay for the TPK. And so we appreciate it. Amanda, you look so sad. So I do want to, again, thank you to all of our helpers, and we've had many of them in the chat. Thank you to Gonsplitter, thank you to John, thank you to Holofox, thank you to Baldrox, whose terrain we've been looking at quite a bit tonight. Also, this gorgeous map, Thomas Grisette, you know him as Twitchy DM. He built this map for us. I also have V1 of Anna B. Meyer's map, which is consistent with what she does with her Greyhawk work. It is already looking very, very cool. This is the giveaway that we're drawing for in a moment, and so there will be a total of 8 names that will be drawn for on the 31st, or 30th rather, so this is your chance to be one of those 8 names that is drawn for this absolutely incredible giveaway. And so with all of that said, I did also want to mention just a bit of the lore while we're waiting for John to come back. If you missed the book 0, the session 0 rather, but we talked about this quite a bit.
Josh? I think
He meant Josh.
What did I say?
John.
I thought I said Josh. Did I say John? Oh, sorry. So the lore in this, they are in the Sea of Dust in Greyhawk, which was, of course, obliterated by the twin cataclysms. Here, the rain of colorless fire fell. When the rain of colorless fire fell, the entire mighty empire of the Suel was wiped out in moments. A handful of these great mages fled, left, populated with people other areas. One of them, a well-known, fled purporting to offer freedom and led others to their deaths. This was no easy time to be alive. But there were another handful of these mages which burrowed themselves deep within the earth, knowing there would come a time of rebirth, a time where they could forge a kingdom of their own. These risen Suel mages from the ashes of the reign of colorless fire are the sorcerer kings of Athos. The very atmosphere of this place, held in by what you would see in a typical Athasian map being the ringing mountains. Here, the Sulhout mountains to the north, the hellfire furnaces to the east. You have rings of mountain ranges all around, and in this area, forsaken by the gods of the Floness have turned their eyes. You will not find the voice of Pelor here. Neither will Saint Cuthbert wield his judgmental eye here. No, the gods have forsaken this place, and just as in the original Dark Sun setting, all divine power is actually yielded for clerics from the elements. You would note, and you would know this well, both Zeph and Tick, when that explosion burst in the center of the city street, you did not feel that defiling draw, pulling life source from your body. Though two types of magic that can be used, both defiling and preserving, both of which can have an impact on the surrounding nature, but the defiler choosing the way of power quickly destroys all that which is around it and further decays the land. As the atmosphere is held in here, there is still lingering elements of the rain of colorless fire. This toxin that permeates the atmosphere amplifies the power of the sun, gives it the red orange hue here, the additional heat that burns down like a magnifying glass burning an ant on the sidewalk in the summer. And you have then anything that is born in this area is conditioned to survive in this area. Those few who have tried to venture out to traverse over the Sulhout Mountains or to the west find that they may last a matter of hours or at best 2 to 3 days before they perish beneath the alien atmosphere of the rest of the Flyness. Similarly, all those coming from without, oh, ye silly wanderer from Verbabonk, trying to cross these mountains and walk, should the monsters themselves not devour you in an instant, the very air you breathe will poison you and leave you a rotted corpse in the sands in a matter of hours. This is the land of Dark Sun as you have never seen it before. Thank you for being with us, and type hashtag BlueBoxRPG. We'll draw that name in just a moment. Thank you, John. All right. Hager, thank you for the sub, my friend. As the night has fallen now, and the sun has crept and given its last protest, and you see the city of Tyr twinkles on the horizon. Yellow, orange lights and torches burning a glow of amber into the dark sky of night. Indigo hues over, and you know already the chill, the cold, the settling of night will be just hours away. The remarkable extremes of this landscape easily, even in this, which is late spring, temperatures reaching 120, 130 degrees Fahrenheit quite quickly and beyond, and then can plummet in the evenings to near freezing. And I know, yes, that's ironic that we're freezing right now on Zoom. Just please bear with us. Hopefully the audio is at least still working. We'll pretend this is a podcast if we have to. Yes, exactly like Iraq. Well said. And so, Anala, Naida, you look up and you can see the city blinking ahead, but you also know that there is no way into the city at night, as the doors and the gates are closed. You would know this, Lucius. And as you look around, you're still on the outskirts of the sand, and you know the predators come. You look out across, and with the twinkling of the city ahead, you can make out dimly two forms. At first, it looks like they're closer than they are. As you watch them walking in this direction, you realize they're actually quite large, one of them enormous. You can make out the frame of a half-giant, and what you mistook for being closer was a misjudgment of the size and distance that you're looking at. As they grow closer, you can see there's a heavy limp, and the half-giant seems to be carrying something slung over his shoulder, standing next to him, and you can make out nothing of features, but a man stands much more slender, not as tall, but still far taller than an elf, giving perspective with this half-giant, making it a difficult thing, and they amble towards you. Where you are each set, there is no easy way for them to see you, and you have a smaller frame and figure, but they do seem to be heading directly in your direction.
This is Lucius that saw it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Lucius is still, I presume, walking in front of them, so he'll put an arm out and signal for Anala to look.
Anala's gonna look where Lucius is. Oh, I am not Anala. John got into my head last time.
Blame it all for me. Blame it all. Yep.
Anala just kind of tucks Naida behind Lucius, and she'll creep forward a little, staying low to see what she can see about these people coming towards them.
Okay. Anala, as you creep forward, moving in your stealthy fashion, you look side to side, trying to make out what's going around you, looking to see if there are any predators. And as they get closer, yeah, you can definitely tell the half-giant is got a human or an elf, something slung over one shoulder. The one next to him must at least be part giant. By this point, Lucius, it would be fair to say that you can see that the way this half-giant is walking, he's badly injured. You, Zephatok, with your eyes up, you now can see there are 3 figures, perhaps 150 yards ahead, silhouetted by the night sky of the deserts. One of them standing several feet ahead, very cautiously kneeling down, dark clothing, dark hood pulled up. In the glinting moonlight, you can see there is some kind of bandana or a veil across the person's face, and watching you intently.
Zephatok doesn't like this. He's going to kind of call for them to keep walking, to keep their same momentum. But he'll start to kind of whisper to Tick that there are people in whatever direction he sees them, to like they're 9 o'clock or they're 11 to 10 o'clock. And there's 3 of them. They let me just, maybe I should just role play it, as John would say.
Good idea. We do that here sometimes.
Tick, it seems there are those that see us about our 10 o'clock.
And
There are 3 of them that are watching us. They seem smaller than you put together. We should be fine, but no surprises.
from them or us?
Yes.
Oh, it's so confusing. It might be best if Big Brother, if you carry the elf. It might look a little bit deceiving if I am. I don't want it to look like I am hungry.
See, that is the problem with us, is we always seem to the small folk to be hungry. But... And he'll kind of reach up an arm, turning to him, pretty much putting his back to where the people are. Where the 3 that they see are. He's going to put his back to them, so if Tick is looking at them or over him, it will not look unnatural.
Okay.
And once the body is transferred, Tick will hunch down a little bit more especially now that he's not carrying the body, hunch down and not in an attempt to hide himself, because that's pretty hard to do, but to not stand in a power stance, right? He's not bowing his chest. He's showing a sense of modesty.
Okay. As you kind of crouch down a bit lower and turn around, you see this. You see the half-giant. He crouches lower in his stance, trying to make himself smaller, and they stop. Anala.
Anala will stand up right directly in their path, blocking Lucius and Nida, and just stand there, arms crossed, and she'll kind of nod her head towards them, hoping that Lucius will come forward.
Lucius kind of stays where he's at, but he would take a step forward. But this time he's going to play the charismatic. He's not going to have that hard front as he did with what was the past gentleman's name who came out of the sand? Do we have? whoever. He's not going to be all hardcore. He's going to be more of the charismatic, suave side.
And to answer the question, that gentleman never gave you his name.
Okay, I wasn't sure. It wasn't in my notes, so.
Daddy.
Nida's learned a little. Really, she just got chastised for running into things thinking that she could heal, and told Anala that she wasn't gonna do that again. So she's waiting, but there's just this very, like, as soon as she notices these figures, like, oh, we've been waiting for someone. There's someone. And someone looks sleepy. And is going to turn to Anala with like a almost like not apprehension, but almost excitement. Like,
No.
we've been waiting. I am not currently running towards them. It is an improvement. We have been waiting for people.
No.
I'm not.
She just stares you down. No.
We are specifically looking for one of the giant folk. We were told to look for them. If I look down there, they appear to be of the giant blood. Am I incorrect in this?
You stay put.
I'm not helpful from back here.
That's fine. Until we know. Stay put.
Fine.
Zephatok, you see that it's obvious that they're talking about you, and as you're looking now, as you're squinting ahead, two of them make sense. The very cautious one standing in the front, clad all in darks, perfectly knows where they're at and what they're doing. The other, interesting, you can see a gleaming chest in the night with the moonlight glinting off of it. Clearly some elven blood, but also cautious, hand on a weapon, and well covered. The third, though, makes no sense at all. You can't make out much of the features. You're still a good 30 yards away, but it's clearly a small woman, perhaps just over 5.5 feet tall, and she is wearing a almost diaphanous dress, silken, that blows in the wind, and she's gesticulating wildly as you're looking at her. It's a very strange sight.
I don't think they're bandits.
Or is this the best bandit disguise?
Well, what do you think then?
I think we keep walking.
Towards them?
No. Keep walking the path that we have been walking, trying to find a place for the night.
I can't go much further, Zephatok. I am so thirsty right now.
You and me both.
And I do not want to continue bleeding everywhere, bringing the creatures to us.
Okay, fine. As he'll kind of stop moving, I need to bandage up his wounds anyways, as he pats his mantelpiece, being his little buddy.
And how about I take a few steps forward and see what is out there?
He's gonna look across Tick's wounds and just be like,
See, he wobbles a bit.
And I put my hand up. It's okay. Hey, I got a new club.
Tick, one of these winds could blow you over. Just
No, they can't. As I do wobble in the wind, I will be fine, big brother. You heal him. That's what you do.
And He's gonna stop and take a knee and look up at you. Stay here. Look menacing.
Haven't you seen me? I am always, and I'll give you a wink, menacing.
You smile too much.
You don't smile enough.
Alexander said,
He
yeah.
just glowers.
Alexander, yeah, you have a club. You just joined the bleeding club.
He's gonna just glower like a bulldog.
What's the worst that can happen, Zapatok? Become
die.
a slave again?
No,
All
you're
right.
killed.
That would probably be better to being a slave.
Yes, it is. But then it would take all the time that I just put into getting you out of there. And all the supposed blood that we're given.
Fine.
I
I'll
don't
go a
even know.
little bit up there, but not far. I'll stay close-ish to you.
We owe yet again the Veiled Alliance.
Yes.
They
And
have
I'll just move 10 feet. So I'm still within earshot. I can still have a conversation with you, but I am going to put a little bit of distance between you and me to buffer anything that might come.
Okay. And then, Lucius, are you doing anything as they approach?
So Lucius will turn to Anala and Nadia, and looking directly at Nadia, just be like, "Stay here." And he's straight faced. He kind of stands up a little bit, stands straight, and it's almost as if he's going into character. You see this smile come across his face. He kind of lightens, and he turns on his heels and walks directly for these guys.
Okay. You see the tall elf begins approaching, his cloak billowing in the night. Now he's getting closer. You can see it looks like he has some sort of stringed instrument also strapped to his hip. His gait is long and loping, and you can hear the crunch of his boots in the sand as he comes closer, not looking threatening, but not looking peaceful either. Cautious.
And as far as proximity, I would be between Zephytok and them.
You see the lumbering half-giant stands. Clearly, he is an intimidating character. His figure broad, tall, but he's wincing. You recognize the limp of an injured man. And he stands, he kind of wavers in front of you as though the wind itself could move him like a rush of a reed of grass.
With a sternness, not like a harshness, but with a strength, putting all his strength into it, just his voice, holding himself steady. What brings you all out here tonight?
Okay. Now, before she responds, I've given some high-level descriptions, but we've not really had descriptions of your characters except for the first few minutes of session 1. Now that you're meeting, I think this is an appropriate time. So let's start with the two of you because you are directly engaging with each other. Tick, other than what I've said, tell Lucius and the rest of the ladies what they see as they look at you, and then we're going to go to you, Lucius, and I want you to tell Tick what he sees.
So on Tick, you would see that he has very battered clothing and piecemeal type of armor, leathers, and bones on him. He clearly, where there is any kind of clothing, although hard to see in the dark, hard to see at night because of the dark, you can clearly see that there is a wetness to different parts, his legs, his arms, and then where the skin is exposed, especially in his arms and his neck and his face, there you do see a liquid as he's bleeding from various parts all over his body. his height, I think you're around 7 foot ish. So he towers at 11 feet over you, very wide. His shoulders alone being about 4 feet wide. He's bald, and if it was daylight, you would see the scars that riddle his skin in various areas. His upper body, very, very wide, with a very strong, like V shape, clearly built to fight on. He's not a big gut kind of giant. He's very, very clearly that he fights.
He kind of leans back as he looks at you, and what does he see?
So Lucius, starting kind of from the ground up, he's wearing leather boots. He's got loose-fitting pants. But as you get higher, you see he's very toned. He's not a very muscular guy. He doesn't have a lot of bulk, but you see tight, toned muscle. He's not wearing a shirt. He's wearing a cape, though, with a hood. Underneath that hood, you're going to see some platinum blonde hair. It's about shoulder blade length, kind of just flows down his back underneath the hood. Very chiseled face, very, at this moment, inviting. He's smiling as he walks up to you, and on his back he has a lute strapped to him. To his side he has this weapon that looks like a spear because it's long, wooden in the middle with bone on either side of it. So it's kind of a double-ended spear, and that's tied to his side at this moment. And so there's that spear stand attached to his side.
Who is that? What the?
That was John.
And John, you threw me off my group.
I have no idea what just happened there, guys. Sorry if I put anybody's eardrums out. That was some kind of very strange system glitch.
Woo!
Yeah, very, very sorry about that. Okay. Is everybody all right?
Where was I?
Continue. You're awake now? You'll just take over, Greg? Sorry. Hey, I don't know what. That was some sort of a glitch. It just went, I don't know. Yeah, something funny is happening tonight. We got a good stream going, and I think that it's just trying to fight us. But anyway, go ahead. Continue on.
As he approached, you're going to kind of see he's more sauntering up to you. He's not on guard. He's put on this loose kind of performance. He's coming and he's walking up to you and he's smiling at you. Not necessarily something you would expect to maybe see in the desert, especially a 7-foot elf walking up to an 11-foot half giant. So as he stops a good distance away from you, maybe out of your arm's reach, but as he kind of takes you in, looks you from your feet all the way up to the tip of your shiny little head there, he'll smile and just say hello.
Hello. You do not seem lost out here.
No, we are not lost. Okay. No, wait a minute, expecting you to. He's not offering anything up, but he will wait to see if you have any other questions.
Well, that is good that you are not lost. It is not the place to be lost, but if there is nothing we can help you with, and you'll see him start to rock in his place. Perhaps you can never mind us, as we do not mean to threaten any of you.
I don't think you can help us, but I'll kind of raise an eyebrow and look you up and down again. From the state of you, maybe we can help you.
I don't really understand your suggestion, but if there is, and you'll see him rock even more, as clearly his mind he's in a daze with all the blood that he's lost. He is dizzy and dazed, and just help is a good thing.
He will take a step closer and kind of peek around you for a second. Can I see who's behind you? Can I see?
Yeah, yeah, and he's just standing about 10 feet behind. As you see this aquine-featured, chiseled, bare-chested, swaggering elf kind of looks around the giant and describe what he sees as he looks at you. He's thinking. You gotta. I know. Josh just looks right out.
I love that you see just this little figure come and tap his shoulder.
And before any rumors start, no. Ashlyn is happily married. They are friends. She is passing through. She's on vacation, and this was the place that she could get to stream tonight because she has not been at home for either one of our first two streams. That's how dedicated she is. So
that's right.
All right, continue.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, no, I could do better. So Zephatok is currently kneeling. Is currently kneeling down and looks towards, and so it's Tick that's looking towards him and Lucius, correct?
I'm looking to Lucius. Lucius is peering
Lucius
around.
Lucius is looking around
you.
Tick at you.
He is.
Zephatok has his left leg straightened out. His right leg is kneeling on it, kind of like almost like a agile stance, but his shoulders rounded around what looks to be a bundle. And his eyes are staring down at this bundle and then looking at what's going on briefly, just kind of gesturing his head. And then we'll look back. And what you see covering this character's shoulders is you see these hides, these thin and thick stitched together hides that just drape over the body and seem to be thickly sewn together with what seems to be something a bit more of a diameter to it than just basic thread. You would see the hair that's pulled back into a bun behind the head, and the rest of the head is shaved. You would see tattoos along the neck, no tattoos on the back of the head. But when the head gestures up, you see tattoos and paint along the front of the face and along the hands as they're working on this bundle. Odd moccasins that have wrapping to those as well. They don't seem super thick to walk on these sands. So it seems like whatever this character is makes do with the heat that blisters upward from them. You would see his hands are not thickly covered in any sort of mesh or any sort of leathers. They are definitely thin and long, like the rest of him. Seems to be very lanky, opposed to very buff, almost the very complete opposite of the entity that's directly in front of Lucius.
Very nicely done. Lucius?
So Lucius will kind of come back after taking in that sight and why don't you have a seat? Is your friend going to stay back there, or is he going to come and join you?
Right now, he is busy, and I am standing here.
Well, if you were to have a seat, maybe we could assist you.
Oh no. Taking a seat kinda sounds like a good idea.
You're going to sit back here.
With that, Lucius will kind of peer around again. Hello, friend. I think we can be of some assistance. If you don't mind, I'd like him to sit here so my friend can come and care for him. It would make me feel better if he sat here, if I'm going to bring her forward. And this entire time, he just has this kind of smile, but he's adamant that if we're going to come and help and give assistance, it's going to be with them separated.
Shepatok, she's called you friend. He called you friend. Is this a friend?
No.
I stand here.
I think we could be friends.
All right, taking a quick pause. We're going to go ahead and roll for the name to be added to our grand prize giveaway for the 30th. So if your name pops up, you are in the drawing. Now, also, anyone else, you can also join in the online giveaways, the submissions rather, through Gleam. So you have a chance to be drawn each week. And then also you have a chance to be drawn through that. And then on the final night, the 30th, we'll actually draw 2 during the stream. All total, we'll have 8 names that will be in the pile for the giveaway that night. So I'll give you just another 60 seconds. Type hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat. Hashtag Wiggles butt for luck. All right. I don't know. Does that work? Hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat, and we're going to pull that name in a second. And then as soon as that's over, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. Your name is still in, and we'll start the drawing for the gorgeous Lightning Source reprint of Greyhawk, Treasures of Greyhawk, a fantastic module for levels 7 to 12. This is an iconic module, one of my favorites, and we're going to give this away tonight at the end of the stream. All right, so here we go. I'm going to roll for it, and the next entry we have into... you got in just in time, Zedar Light. Into the giveaway for Dragon's Crown, signed by Richard Baker, is... Vamp Wickman! Vamp, please let us know you're still in chat. Long-time follower. Hey, Radu, good to see you in as well. While we're checking to see if Vamp is in, I want to mention June and Radu. So Radu, I think I have all this straight. Radu runs athis.org, heavily involved in the Dark Sun community, very involved in the Dark Sun Discord. June Solar runs Athis Con. These guys have both generated so much content around the Dark Sun world and setting. June is sending shirts for all of us to wear on one stream one night. That's what I got your sizes for. We're going to rep Athis Con, and I'm going to see if we can stream a game of Sea of Dark Sun for Athis Con with this crew. I'm going to work with him and try to make that happen. And then both June and Radu are going to be on an upcoming 2 separate Lore Masters Arcanums. Yes, athis.org is still absolutely around. Check it out. We got a lot of content from that website and from the Dark Sun Discord. I've got models that June sent me that you're going to see, like 3D, not those kind of models, Josh. The 3D models that I'll be importing and printing. These guys have been super. Did Vamp Wickman, did he say hey?
No.
Oh no! All right, we're gonna draw again then. You must be present to be entered. I hate that for him. All right, here we go. We're gonna draw. So your name's already in. You don't have to type again. I'm gonna give him 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, very, very sorry. You got to be present when your name is drawn. I can't go back on the rules. All right, here we go. And it is June Soldier. Oh, who I was just talking about. June. And that is so. Here, everyone that's wondering like how this works, so I use something here called Nightbot. So you can see here's the Nightbot. It pops up automatically from the list of all the people that have submitted and entered. So this is an up and up system. Because I just mentioned his name, that was really odd that okay, so June, congrats. my new friend, you are one of the names that will be drawn for on the 30th of this month. But worry if that don't worry if it wasn't you. We'll be drawing 4 more names on stream, and then 2 names through our social media effort on Gleam. So still plenty of chances for you to get into that giveaway. Keep your names in there and don't leave us, because your name is already in, and we will be giving this away at the end of the stream, and we'll send that out to whoever wins it. And here at Blue Box, we do ship anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're in Europe or Russia or we've sent to Serbia, we've sent to Iceland. I'm always joking we send to the worst shipping place in the world, Canada, but we will send it to you wherever you are at. All right, so back into the immersion of the game. I'm sorry, there was a question that was asked of you.
I think the last thing that was said was Lucius had mentioned, I think we can be friends.
Right.
Yeah. And Tick just said that he's standing because Zephatok said not a friend. So I'm and again, that dizzy, dazed, a lot of blood lost. Standing here. If it makes you feel any better, reach to his side and unfasten the club and drop it by his feet.
Pick, drop your weapons, and anyone you send up,
I did.
Drop your weapons as well.
With that, as a sign of good faith, Lucius will pull a string on his side, and his weapon will fall. You, sir, are a very large man. I think it would be better and easier for my friend here to help you if you did have a seat. And as a sign of good faith, he'll look back around.
Zephatok will be approaching to the back of Tick with the elf in his arms, as he will kind of be moving just slightly and deftly, just with these long, silent steps. As he will come up to the side of Tick, he'll put a hand kind of leaning the man in his other arm, and will put a hand on Tick's shoulder to try to pull him down. Not like physically hard, but just kind of like when a parent puts their hand on your shoulder to get you to sit down or kneel, at least. Rest. As he will pull from his side his massive water skin. There's not a lot, but get some gulps in. If we are resting here, it's better to get it while you can.
No, I think sitting is a good idea. And I'll drop to like a knee and into the sand, knowing that it's sand. It's gonna flex with it. So I drop to one knee and drop to the other knee, just sitting back on my feet. I grab the water skin and feeling how much or how little is in there for how much I want.
Yeah.
I slowly uncork it or open it, and stick it up to my mouth and slowly bring it up to not guzzle it. And you see one big mouthful. Wish I could probably tell you how much that is, but I'm not at the moment. One giant mouthful of this water, and lowering it back down and handing it back to Zephatok.
He's laying the elf next to Tick. Take care of him. I'm going to step back and keep an eye. Drink the rest. Drink what you need to. I've had more than enough. As
We
he's going
know
to step
what
back.
tomorrow brings.
With that, Lucius will take his water pouch from his side, and out of good faith, hand it to you.
How close are you?
Hey.
I'm right there.
Oh.
Like I took
You
a step
hear a
forward.
howl
I took
ring out
couple
over the
steps
dunes.
Forward. So with that, I will hand you my water.
It ceases as quickly as it began.
Zephatok will take it. And also, can I tell what type of animal that was?
Roll knowledge, nature, please.
And if you want to give me disadvantage or anything for this, because I'm kind of preoccupied.
You're fine.
While this is going on, Lucius will put a hand behind his back and kind of do one of these motions. And does Anala see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anala, she'll step forward, but she'll grab Nida's arm to stop her from eagerly going forward, and she'll
Nida,
slowly.
This whole time, if you could see her, is just like antsily shifting her weight from foot to foot, knowing that they're just going to take forever being in a standoff, and this could all be solved if we just talked openly, and just like this built up like energy that she's been trying really hard to keep together. She's not doing a great job, but she listened, she stood still. Can we go now?
Slowly.
Fine. She will follow behind Anala, begrudgingly behind. And also hears her mentor in her head and remembers that she should probably be carrying herself as a Vita-san, not as just a girl in the desert. And takes a deep breath, stands a little bit taller, tries to calm herself a little bit and not show how much she's like, okay, can we get to the thing now?
What was your roll, Josh?
No. Yeah, no. It was a no. It was a big no.
It was a big no? Okay. Well, I mean,
no.
if it's ever a nat one, you got to let me know that too.
It's a nat one.
Oh, it's a nat one? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So roll again. So here at Blue Box, sometimes I do these as concealed checks, but sometimes I do them openly. And just like an attack or anything else, you can, quote unquote, fumble a check like this. And the way that works is instead of just not recognizing it, you misrecognize it. Or instead of not hearing it, you hear the wrong thing. And this is a useful mechanism in a number of different checks, which adds this, because that's often the case. If you're trying to sense motive on someone, as an example, if you fumble that sense motive, then you actually would not just fail to sense, you would probably misread that badly. I've had perception checks that were fumbled and actually wind up having a party member distracted by something, squirrel in the tree over there. So what was your roll?
That was, if it was another knowledge nature, that would have been a 19.
A 19, okay. No, you just don't know what it is.
Yeah. And also it makes sense because as he's grabbing the water skin to then hand to Tick, he kind of doesn't dump it out. He kind of, when you're tasting a hot sauce, sorry for the anachronism, but he's going to put a little bit on his hand and taste it. And then we'll hand it over to Tick as he steps further back, the same distance that Lucius will step back, so there's that little bit of no man's land.
Quick question, John.
Yes.
What are the 3 water consumptions for a half giant at rest, traveling, and fighting? What amount of water do I need to take in?
So I posted that for you.
Oh, did you?
That's all in the Discord channel.
Yeah,
so you're basically 4x a human, which is actually conservative given the fact that you're many times 4x human weight. And yes, I know our Zoom is stuttering again. You're many times 4x human size. So you need 4 gallons of water in sort of a real resting shade type of scenario. Walking around in the sun, basic activities during the day, some light exertion, you'll use 8 gallons of water in a day. If you are heavy exertion, marching across desert sun, fighting gladiatorial fights for hours at a time, it can be up to 16 gallons of water a day that Tick will consume to maintain a standard level of hydration. You are a 1,400-pound being.
Okay. Not really being able to control myself. At this point, I'm given a water skin, and it's not Zephatox. I will drink the whole thing.
With that, Lucius will turn over.
This was Lucius water skin you just drank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear a slurping sound and then actual suction, and you look over, and the sides of your water skin are compressed together flat.
Lucius will kind of talk over his shoulder and call out to them. And he will make a pet name. He will call out for Darling Nadia. Just kind of staying in that character. Not sure how she's going to react to this new name, but call out to her and say, "We could use your assistance here."
Nida, hearing the call, again, freaking monsters in the background, right? Is going to try and make Anala move a little bit faster.
This time you heard an answering call, so now you can kind of echo it. It's tough to tell how far away it is, but one blew from to your right, to the right of Anala Nida. You come the direction you're to be to the left of where Tick, to your right, and then the other call seemed to answer from the opposite direction, so from either side.
Wonderful.
So with that,
yeah, Nida's gonna like lean forward towards Anala. He's like, "All right, there are things out here, and if I can get him up, he's at least helpful to us. But we have to get to him in a reasonable amount of time. Let's go, let's go, let's go."
During that, Lucius will sidestep and make his way over to, I'm still getting the names, I'm sorry, Zephatok. He'll go over to Zephatok and kind of start conversation with him if possible.
What do you say to him?
Well, I know what these monsters are, right? We were told what is out here. We were warned what was going on.
All right, so let me say two things. One, what you were told of was the Masaka, which is Elvish for the great worms. And you were told there was one that had been roaming in this area by night, which is why you were traveling by day to this point. And these things typically will range a certain area for a number of days, or even multiple Senites. Remember, Senite is a 5-day week. So a Senite is 5 days. That's what's considered a week here. Multiple Senites, they may range in a certain hunting ground. You know very much the sound that you heard was not a worm.
Okay. I'll still make my way over to him. If my friend is able to help yours, we should go back to the city. It is not safe at night out here.
You may do so. We do not have that option. As he's not going to be looking at Lucius. He's going to be watching what's going on between this tiny little itty bitty woman and big boy Tick.
Even if you do not go into the city, I would urge that you accompany us back closer to it.
We do not have that option either. We cannot get anywhere close to the city. Tick, shut up.
I don't feel so well, big brother. I think that, I think I want to sleep.
No, stay awake. As he's kind of looking like What is this woman doing? That's
Lucius is a guy.
no. He's looking towards.
Have I gotten there?
Yeah, has Nida gotten there yet?
I would assume so because Lucius would have left him until Nida got to him. So.
All right. So yeah, you guys tell me what you're doing, but you see the huge half giant. He kind of drops down to one knee.
He's on both knees.
He's already sitting down.
Okay. My bad.
Lucius will continue to kind of urge. We do not have enough water for him. Let us get supplies and maybe we can aid. We were told by someone that we were to meet you. Or to meet someone, and I believe it to be you and him, as he kind of gestures. We are not safe here now.
We will not be safe if we are near the city either.
All right. As you're having this conversation, let me bring up the map, and all of you would be, fairly familiar with the geography of this region. But in particular, Tick, you've roamed some of the wastes, but you probably have the least knowledge of the geography. You, Lucius, traveled often through these lands, but rarely afoot, because of the reasons you were treated as quite the commodity, and so you always had means of transport. Anala and Nida, you have traveled this way before, even in the past several months, so you know the terrain quite well. And so as I pull up the map, you can see here is where Tyr is located. Let me zoom in. All right, so you were traveling, Anala and Nida, west from Altaruk, and you had intended to enter Tyr. You do know, so you would be just sort of right here on that last dash. Let me zoom in more, that last dash before you enter into Tyr. An area very familiar to both of you, especially you, Silver Springs. These mountains and hills here to the north, these are your homelands. And so you would have several options here. You could head back the way you came toward Altarok. You could cross over and try to take the road south through the hills into Kaladne. You could try to get into Tyr, or you could take the road north, which will take you into the Badlands and away from the sand, at least for the first several miles of the journey. It does hit sand again before you reach Silver Springs, or you could head out into the wastes if you so chose.
As we've been going through this journey, obviously it's taken us multiple days to get from our starting location to Tyr. What have we normally been looking for? Obviously we've been resting during the night, traveling during the day. Are there any sort of outcroppings, rocks, things like that, where it's a little bit off of the sand that we could find shelter?
Yeah, so there are, the terrain is mixed, both north and south of Tyr. You'll have patches of dunes breaking into patches of hard rock and badlands, littered with sand, but crevices and huge structures of barren rock. And so there are, in both directions, you can find these sort of, there's no silt here. It's all the sand. You don't have salt flats here. You have mainly sand, badlands, stone in between these areas. You know that the travel is slow. It's not even your typical pace. So it would be a good 3 days travel, either south back toward Altaruk, or a good 3 days travel plus maybe a little more heading towards Silver Springs. You also know there are small settlements that litter these, and sometimes there are pop-ups. Elven nomads will travel and sometimes set up, sell wares, and disappear. You always make the choice, though. The choice is very simple. Travel in the day and suffer thirst and suffer heat. Travel in the night when most everything else travels in the night in this area. And so the predators are most active when it is safest from the sun. It is most deadly to the denizens. And so there is no easy choice of travel in the Sea of Dark Sun.
No. Nida's going to, as we're finalizing our approach towards Tick, is going to turn to Anala. While I work on him, see if you can find overhearing this conversation. It seems like, and it makes sense that they would not be able to go back. With the state of him, something went down in there. But either we find a way into the city ourselves, and they find shelter, or we all find shelter together. Either way, shelter needs to be found. So while I work on him, you know this area as well as I do. See if you can spot anything. And at the same time, you can keep your eyes out for monsters and things that are going to attack us. I will have Lucius right there to protect me from this falling over half giant.
Anala kind of growls at you. She's not happy at the prospect of leaving your side, especially with people who we don't know.
You don't need to go far.
She'll turn to Lucius and watch her.
She'll be fine.
See?
She is right.
Even Grumpy Face here says that I will be fine.
Closer this time.
Great.
Much closer.
Shelter. Something that will get us out of this. And
An answering call from the other side again. Also closer.
With the noises, the calls, Lucius will walk over to where he dropped his weapon and pick it up, and also pick up the club and hand it back to Tick.
yes, that seems smart.
Yes.
I'll grab it, but I stick it on the ground, and I still think sleep is nice right now.
Stay awake.
Nida's going to hurry her steps a little bit, seeing him kind of get woozy, especially now that Inala's not holding her back, and is going to place a hand on one hand on a bit of his chest, because she is, again, 5'8", much smaller than he is, and then reach a hand down onto his thigh where she sees some of the blood pooling. You watch as her eyes close, her hands grow a bit colder, and every single tattoo covering her body, all of these swirling blues begin to just subtly glow, shift, move like water along her skin. And they actually begin to lift up as she's using her conduit healing. So I'm going to use that healing hands trait to, as an action, do treat deadly wounds without using my healer's kit.
And you call upon the power of Galana, and you feel that familiar rush of hydration and the droplets of water forming on your hands, your tattoos glowing azure. Go ahead and make your roll.
20.
What?
As she, for the second time doing this ever, proves to be a scion. So all of the tattoos are now lifted up from her chest, from her arms, from her legs, across her back, as they actually leave her body, wrap around Tick, and begin to stitch up. And you actually watch as a little vine that's around her head also follows this water and seems to move on its own, wrapping itself around his thigh and binding the worst of the wounds, as Nesta, her stitch vine, is now getting to work here as well, because that brings my heal up to a 30.
Not points. That's the roll, yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
No, not points.
Yeah, that's because I rolled a 20 and I have plus 10 to my heal with Nesta. That's then a 30 heal, which puts me 10 above the DC, which means that the healing is now 6 total. But you said it also crit healing. We had a conversation.
Yeah. So what you need to do is roll again. Roll a d20 again, and if the second,
Please. Please.
I'm actually using.
if the second one would also have been successful,
I know. I'm not going to roll.
you feel, and part of it is as Nesty. By the way, that is Athasian lore. This entity, they're the flora and the fauna, both powerful and deadly, and sometimes helpful. So even the plants of Athos are extraordinarily exotic, and this stitch vine has this capacity. All right. So what was your second roll?
A 2, so 12 total. So now.
Okay. All right. So then you have the 6 points of healing that you've given, which is absolutely outstanding.
Still better than I can do consistently with wounds.
And as you do this, you feel the draw of moisture coming from you. This is the first time you have laid your hands in this sort of healing on a half giant. The life force, you can feel the thump of a massive heart inside that chest. His body seems to be wicking the moisture and power away from you. You almost have, in your mind, you imagine turning spigots, turning water off. You have to pull yourself away forcefully. You almost feel as though he would suck every ounce of the healing and the water from you. Not that he intends to do it, but his body demands it. You step away. You've never experienced anything like that.
How do you feel?
I'll wipe my hand on my skin, dropping my club as I'm feeling around. Well, admittingly, I would still like to take a nap, but I do feel much, much better. And I'll go ahead and I'll stand up. Just to give reference, my shins are just under 3 feet in length. So I'm on my knees and then sitting back on my feet. I'm 7-ish feet. So when I stand up, I grow this additional 4 feet towering above you. I lean down. At the same time, I pick up the club as I'm standing up. I must say, water has never been so refreshing.
I'm glad to hear it. What is your name, friend?
Zephyrdog, people sure say friend a lot. My name is Tick.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Dick. My name is Nida.
Nada.
It's close enough.
Nida.
Yes, Nida.
Nida. No, that is hard.
We won't
on my
bother
tongue.
with the surname. Nida is fine.
John, do I have an idea what the freak I just witnessed?
Roll, let's do, it's not religion per se, but make a knowledge religion check.
Come on.
I think we replaced it with knowledge planes.
This is some Tarzan cool scene. It is a Tarzan. I didn't even think of that, Gon. That's so true. It is. Me Tarzan, you Jane. Were you about to have a quarter giant here? It's,
religion.
what was the roll?
Did we replace it with knowledge planes? There was something we replaced knowledge.
Yes, actually, you're right. We did, but I haven't done that. So I'll take whatever he's got for that, and we'll adapt. What's your roll, Josh?
Straight roll is an 11, and I have no addition for
11. I would just say, you have heard. Especially given what you do, you also draw power from the elements. There are some who worship and serve various elementals, of elemental lords of power, water certainly being one of them. You're quite certain that she has some commune with an elemental lord.
Okay. Then, thankfully, Lucius, you would see because he's been having the long club piece balanced with the heavy weight on the end over his shoulder, with his wrist on the end of it to be able to whip it around if needs be, but just leaning. And then as soon as he sees the glow begin to transition, and especially when it starts to rise and go towards him, you see as he steps to try and pivot and then just stops and just stands to his full height and just kind of watches in awe of this. And then with the most recent howl, it kind of brings him back, and he's going to turn around with his back to Nida and Tick, and will actually start backing up towards them, trying to keep an eye on what's approaching.
When you would have... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry. John, can I understand what these howls are saying?
No, because you couldn't even identify. Remember, you tried to identify before what they were coming from, but you can just tell they're signaling. And probably most disturbingly, that last set that was fairly close, that was the last time you heard. As you survey the night sky, while all is silent now, the stars glitter in the indigo night. The palette painting light, the moons of the twin moons of the Flyness, still glowing that same putrid yellowish orange through the air of the Sea of Dark Sun, casting strange light on the sand around you. Tick, your friend, now seemingly somewhat better, but mesmerized by this willowy creature that looks as though she could blow away with the wind, and this strange woman that stands protectively by her, giving the bombastic side-eye, criminal, offensive side-eye to anyone that gets close to her. And Lucius standing there occasionally rubbing his well-oiled chest. No, I'm just teasing. And as you look around, you cannot help but see the beauty. There is beauty in this desert. There are colors, palettes you will see nowhere else in the Flyness. And yet it seems the sand, the soil, the air, everything is bent on wicking moisture from your bodies, taking the blood from your forms, and feeding your flesh to the parasites that live in the sand. And before we end episode 2 of Sea of Dark Sun, an interlude. On a cold stone, not an interlude, no, not LEWD, no. On a cold stone slab, Kalak, you dimly have your consciousness resume. Go ahead, the video will sync up as soon as John joins. You have your consciousness resume. And don't worry about the other names, we won't fuss with that now. You immediately pull and you feel each of your 6 limbs are bound. And there is a wraith-like figure, a human, perhaps 40 years old, but already sallowed cheeks, eyes darkened, huge, receded in their sockets, thin wisps of black hair look like even they don't want to cling to the skin of this man. He has, sitting next to him, a table, and with the lens of your compound eye, you can make out with your peripheral vision a number of instruments on that table. One looks like a large mallet. The other looks like a saw, something sharp and jagged on edge, and he leans over you.
Well, Bug, you seem to have made a very poor decision. Our Sorcerer King Kalak did not enjoy your attempt at conversation, but I have promised him that you will speak doleful tones for me tonight.
And he looks down at you.
I'll fight against the chains that are holding him down.
Go ahead, roll D20.
So just check him out. 9.
9. You pull against. Clearly, they know what a thrycreen is. They know the strength. This is a table specifically designed to restrain one of your kind. And you see, as he looks at you, there's a feverish glow to his hollowed eyes, and he lets out a giggle.
I love it when they struggle. Where are you from? What part of the wastes?
And as he says this, he leans over and he pulls one of the instruments off the table. It's a heavy-looking mallet, and he taps it a couple of times. It thunks in his flesh.
I'll tentatively try to connect with them.
As you reach out, tell me, what form is the projection of your consciousness taking?
My consciousness is going to take the form of a very small thrycreen, like a larva, and he's going to see it rise from the obsidian wastes near Dragon's Bowl. I just send him that. That is the backdrop of the plane.
As you reach out, and you do this, springing up almost instantly, clearly anticipating it, you see a huge sheet of obsidian, a wall, juts up. It looks hundreds of feet tall, perfectly smooth, glistening ebony surface.
I attempt to dig under it in the hopes that the wall goes into the sky but not under the ground.
All right. As you make this attempt, you have one of the 5 primary types of psionics. And so we're going to use the old school system that has been used in many, many types of games, where you're going to declare to me with your attack, are you using a mind blanking attack, a mind thrusting attack, an ego whipping attack, an id insinuation attack, a psychic crush, or a psionic blast? And then I am going to select one of the 5 defense modes, a mind blanking, thought shielding, mental barrier, intellect fortress, or tower of iron will. Neither one of us knows what the other is doing, so I'm going to select my attack, you're going to select your style of attack, and then that will modify what happens on the roll. And so go ahead and I'm going to pick mine first. I'll jot it down. And in fact, we can both hold these up to the screen. Now, you have multiple powers within these categories, and of course, they're varied by strength. And you don't even know really what you're going to be able to do because you are not trained psionically. But
no,
you are.
I have no idea what's going on.
You're just. All right. Would you like me to pick one for you? Good.
I mean, at the point where I'm trying to just connect and send him a message that I get this level of response, yes. I would break it off.
All right.
I'm already whoa, okay.
All right.
He doesn't want me to answer that way.
All right.
Obviously.
As you reach out, you feel this coming, and you don't know what would have happened, but you decide better of it, and you quickly retreat. His physical eyes went glassy for a moment, and then he smiles.
I prefer the sounds you make, the clicking and the squealing and the squirking. Well, you'll get to that, I'm sure.
And he lifts the mallet, and that is where we will conclude tonight's episode of Sea of Dark Sun. Bravo, everyone. Well done. Great job, all of you mad chatters. Thank you for all the support, guys.
Oh, my God.
And go ahead and type hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat if you have not yet. We're going to give away this fantastic Treasures of Greyhawk book. And then, of course, remember, you can still jump in Gleam, the socials. You can enter your name. We're going to do another name drawing next Tuesday night. We're going to be here every Tuesday all through the month of May. We do have 2 nights in June where we'll have people that I'll be out on vacation. So we won't be streaming 2 times in the middle of June. So you need to get all of your Sea of Dark Sun in that you possibly can over the next several weeks before we will have a brief break. And go ahead and type hashtag BlueBoxRPG. If you typed it earlier, you should still be in there. And we're going to go ahead and have everybody tell us why you should be Stream MVP. Let me take a minute here. I'll go ahead and try to fix these so I don't confuse everybody now that I have a minute. So we're going to put you here. It gets really funky when because they don't stay where they're supposed to stay. They move around. All right, got Nida, I got Anala on the right, Kalak. All right, so I just need to swap these 2. Boom. All right.
Stream MVP.
All right. So I will roll a D6 here, and still time for you to type hashtag BlueBoxRPG. When I draw your name, that does not yet mean that you have won. It means you are in the giveaway. All right. So that's number 4 on the screen. Kalak, tell us why you should be Stream MVP.
Yeah.
My brain didn't get turned to ash. You know?
Yeah,
You got to look to the positive.
Well said. Well, and discretion, I think, was the better part of valor there. And so we'll play. Well, you guys will see how this works. This is yes. There are only 5 slots, and so Kalak won't be in the giveaway tonight.
What?
But I just wanted him to be able to speak up for himself, and he did a great job, and he also was very helpful tonight. Thank you, John, for all of your help. And he does like John and I talk all week long. I mean, we're working on all kinds of cool projects, all kinds of fun stuff. You guys aren't going to believe all the things that we have coming here. It is non-stop. All right, next, Nida. Tell us why Nida should be Stream MVP.
Nida listened to her friends and didn't run forward, despite her really just being like, okay, we're posturing, yes, but there's monsters that want to kill us. Can we please heal the big dude so that he can, fight the monsters? Because I can't.
Yes, and the role play with Anala was super fun. By the way, John, you're going to be rolling for Hager the Horrible. You will still be rolling tonight, and Hager's in. All right, so Hager, you will be drawn for in a moment for this. We'll have 6 names that will be rolled off with D20s, and we'll go through this quickly because I know we're already up on time. Anything else, Nida?
Your full conduit. Like almost as much conduit as she can possibly.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, and somebody in chat, I forget which one of our chatters it was. Oh, it was Gone, I think, that said like, with what you did and the music and the mini, because there was like a casting mode, he got chills, watching it. It was super fun, great moment. All right, and so you next up will be, Zephatok, and let me tell you who you're rolling for before Zephatok goes. You, Ashlyn, are rolling for Wefwe. Wefwe, a follower since April 30th, so joined us just a little over a week ago, a new follower, and you're in. Outstanding, Wefwe. I believe that's the first time you've been a possibility. So the way, again, it works is Ashlyn here is going to roll for you in a moment, and whoever has the highest D20 roll wins this awesome Treasures of Greyhawk. It's like a 100-and-something page module. This is not a skinny, this is a really, really cool one. All right, so why should you be Stream MVP Zephatok?
NVT is Zephatok. Dude, just trying to get this big boy out of the city, but he's such a big boy. He a thick boy. He a no itty bitty boy. He's just so tired. Like, Zephatok's entire existence is just tired and just wanting there to be rest in the world and within himself.
What is he doing in this game?
Yeah, he's a wanderer, man. He's here for the vibes, my dude. No, like he's worried. He's worried for Tick and being able to be there for him, and also just having that weird, loving camaraderie of him first calling him little brother.
Yeah.
Is something that's going to be interesting to roleplay, and also has been very near and dear to me in how he takes care of Tick, and also how he just has and picked up this random dude, this random elf that's now part of the party and will become John's new PC to be able to continue with us.
It'll be Kalak's lunch.
All right, you will be rolling for M Fontana 3. Been subbing a follower for a long time. I don't know if M Fontana has ever been in a giveaway. Are you still with us, M Fontana?
I don't think they have.
I don't think I've ever seen you in one of our giveaways. Hopefully you're here. We'll give him a moment.
Infant.
All right, M-Font, congrats. All right, so you're going to be drawn for as well tonight. Congrats, my friend. You're in the option. All right, so, hey, Shinloki, I didn't see you earlier. Hey, Kurt, thank you for the modding tonight. Okay, next up, Nala, why should you be Stream MVP tonight? You have to give us a reason. Have to give us a reason. Come on.
For keeping Nida safe still. And I mean, that's really, I didn't do much. She just kept her safe. That's it.
And she did it well. And some of the role play was really good tonight, and well done. All right, so you will be rolling for tonight. Tracy Renreb! Tracy, are you still in? Let us know if you are. And then that just leaves either Tick or so the all right, so it's Tick. You're going to go last tonight, Lucius. Go ahead, Tick. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Which one of us is going?
You.
Okay.
Tick, the one named Tick.
Just making sure. I should be Stream MVP because of all the incredible role play from running from getting the club or knocking out the half orc, getting the club, passing off the keys, running through the taking point with my massive body to clear as we were running, following Zephatok's guidance, taking the left, seeing what looked like a person who was very angry and potentially a big threat. Right, giving that look. Yep, that guy was looking menacing at me.
Yeah.
So I charged him. I didn't pass out. Took the cloak. The role play with the locust. Like, hey, I think I hurt your friend.
Yeah.
And then further moving out, and then the interaction with Zephatok is constantly playing into the fact that I'm wounded, I'm tired, I'm thirsty. And then continuing that into the healing as well with Nada.
Got it. It's Nida.
Nida.
Not Nadia. Not Nada. Nida. All right.
Not Nadia.
All right. So you will be rolling for tonight. Fraley, our mod extraordinaire, the man keeping up with the spreadsheet. Everything I looked at, I think the automated spreadsheet was firing on all cylinders tonight. The last time I looked, it was keeping track of everything automatically, so hopefully that was helpful tonight. All right, why should you be Stream MVP, Lucius? Luscious Lucius.
Oh, there was some good role play tonight, I think. We saw a little bit of his character come out, more of his showman. Which will unravel a bit more as we get to know him a bit better. But he kind of did a 180 from his last episode of being grumpy and short-tempered and having no patience at all to seeing these new people coming and putting on a smile and kind of having a little bit of a swagger and not a darling and all of that. So there's a little bit of a difference there. There was some good, I think liaison isn't the right word, but kind of merging of the groups. He kind of
I think liaison would be the right word.
I think liaison.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were doing.
Okay, well, he was a good little liaison and kind of, made sure it was safe for his crowd, but also appeasing, dropping his weapon and putting himself at risk. He doesn't know these people from Adam, so he's kind of, taking a risk for himself. So, yeah, I think that's why he deserves to be Stream MVP.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Outstanding. And Tracy, thank you so much. A bit for a point for each of us. And yes, that will carry over to next week. We won't roll anything into XP. All bits that were remaining will carry over into next week. I have a hunch you're going to need them. Before we roll for the last one, just quickly, I want to let all these players, I want to say thank you. Fans, you have not seen even scratch the surface of the depth of these players. We have an entire Thri-Kreen society built out with Kalak, and in incredible detail in social structures, delineating different types of roles within the society, really expanding on Thri-Kreen of Athos. He read the whole thing. He's absorbed and then created something that he's probably going to wind up putting out on Drive-Thru RPG with a shout out to Blue Box. And it's absolutely incredible. You have our Vidasan, Ashlyn. She has developed this entire concept of her elemental lord Galana, the Vidasan, the Vandari, an entire social structure around it, purposes testing. There are literally 300 text-based roleplay, 400 text-based roleplay messages that were done in advance before the stream started. There is so much depth to these characters. Josh scratched something out on a napkin right before the stream. It's awesome. And then I have so much cool backstory stuff. Rory has a stat for every element of his giant. When I say every element of his physique, I mean every element of his physique.
You can think of,
including everyone else's as well.
Yeah, when he said he whips it, I mean it's every element of his physique. And then Lucius, it's luscious, the bits, the little bit of gossip, the whole thing that we have created. It's incredible. You guys are gonna love getting to know these characters for the few minutes that they actually survive. All right, so you can vote upper right-hand corner for your stream MVP and the last person to be rolled for, and then you guys just go ahead and start rolling for him. Scott, Obsidian Risk. Scott, are you still in the chat with us tonight? Incoming with treats. All right, so let's just go top and around. So we'll start with you, Rory. Who are you rolling for? And make your roll.
I am rolling for Fraley.
Scott, are you in? Obsidian Risk. Let me check and see here.
Fraley has a good old 13.
Okay, that's
above a 5. I did my
not
best for you, man.
I don't see Scott in the chat. Nope. So we're gonna have to roll again. Oh no, there he is. Oh, he popped in. I don't know why I was seeing you in the list. All right, so you're in. All right. So Fraley has a 13. Go ahead, and Nida.
Nida, 4.
Who are you rolling for?
With Weefway.
Thank you, Kai Hawkeye, for the raid.
Sorry, bud.
What was the roll? Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead, Anala.
I need to know. His dice box is cursed. Because I rolled over here on the desk and it was great.
Oh, so close by 1. Nida, you are stream MVP tonight. Congratulations.
Oh, congrats.
I didn't even know that's coming.
All right, and then you had Inala and Tick. Tick, you got a 3rd. Zeph was right there. Shockingly.
Shocking.
Yeah, I just can't believe you did that well. All right, so next, John, who are you rolling for?
I'm rolling for Hagar the Horrible.
Okay, that's Hagar.
I got 2 dice.
Obviously, you're unfamiliar with the cartoon.
Isn't it spelled differently in Hagar?
I don't know, maybe it is.
It's Hagar.
Beat out Inala at the last second. Yes, June, you did. What was the roll?
15.
What's that?
1-5.
1-5. All right, Hagar, you are in the lead with a 15. All right, let's go to you, Josh. Tell us what Zephatok has.
Zephatok is rolling for Infontana, 3. Gets 2 dice. That's going to be an 18.
Ooh, M. Fontana, you are in the lead.
And a 14.
Okay.
So M. Fontana is all the little
M.
teddy bear
Fontana
ones.
is in the lead. 1 person to go. Are you, Becca, going to steal victory from M. Fontana's grasp? Tell us who you're rolling
Come
for.
on. M. Fontana
I'm rolling
gave a
for
little teddy
Scott
bear.
of Obsidian Risk.
Obsidian Risk, here we go. You need a 19.
You rolled a what?
I rolled a 19.
Oh, no way. Did you really? No, we believe you. We believe you. You have to. Okay, M. Fontana. It was that close. Obsidian Risk. Congratulations, Scott.
I haven't rolled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. Sorry, Amanda. I got. How did I
Don't
skip
worry,
over
Amanda,
you?
you
I was
don't need
supposed to
to
go in
roll.
order. Wait, Scott. False alarm. Hold on. She's got to beat the 19. Go ahead. Who you rolling for, Amanda?
Amanda, avenge me. Avenge M.
I'm rolling for Red
Fontana.
Rev.
Oh yes,
Nat
Tracy.
20.
Of course.
I rolled a 19.
Oh!
my goodness.
We have a roll off. All right, the two of you must roll against each other. 1 die. Scott and Tracy. Scott and Tracy. Yeah, sorry, Scott. I jumped the gun there. Scott.
14.
14.
19.
What?
19?
2 19s? Tracy.
no.
14 and 19.
14
and 19.
Okay, so but a 19, right?
Yes.
So yeah, but you were only.
Wait, we rolled twice?
No, you're only supposed to roll 1 die.
No, just once.
No, just
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay out of this, man.
Yeah. So, congratulations, Scott. I owe you an apology. I'll do something for you, but thank you so much, everybody. Great job. Congratulations to Nida, our stream MVP. Hang with us. We're going to raid into our friends. I think Guild Superior should be up tonight, so we're going to raid into them. And I did want to mention, you don't want to miss tomorrow night's Lore Masters Arcanum. I'm going to be at my daughter's soccer game, but tomorrow night on Lore Masters Arcanum, we're going to be joined by Robert and by Kurt. You know him as Kuvent in the chat, one of our great mods, and a super fun topic. They're talking about quirky characters and fun stories. Quirky characters and
Encounters.
fun encounters. Quirky characters and fun encounters. It's going to be a bit more of a whimsical LMA. Should be a lot of fun. You're going to want to join them tomorrow night at 5:30, 5:45. What time are we going tomorrow night, Amanda?
Oh, we going late.
5:30. Okay, so 5:30. We're going to stop it, Josh. 5:30 tomorrow night. All right, so we're done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Mad Chatters. You guys rock. Hang with us for 10 seconds. 9, 8. Everybody make a heart for our friend. Oh, if you're watching and you haven't followed, or you're a follower and you haven't subbed, or if you're a sub and your sub has expired, sacre bleu. We have one question for you tonight. What are you doing? Come on, give us a follow, give us a sub. We appreciate all the support from you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Blue Box signing out.
There we go. And we